Welcome back, everybody. Now we take a trip to the A-League to determine one of our final two playoff contenders here. Echo Knights, Noble Steed in the play-in to keep their season alive, Jace.
Yes, one of these teams will be going home after 3 to 5 maps of Overwatch.
This is true. Mathematically.
Yes.
Well, I guess it could be 6. So.
True.
Let's pump the brakes.
The odds are low, but never 0.
3 to 6. Couple of games to determine here. Our last two members of the playoffs here. Echo Knights, Noble Steed. Winner of that game will go into the upper round 1 against Odin. And then our final representative of the A-League playoffs will be determined on Sunday night, tomorrow night, between Phantom Verdict and Siren's Song. So, getting very, very close to the playoff proper here as we get ready to head into our final series of the night, starting off with Echo Knights. I believe were our higher seed in this play-in. Nyanza, Hageshi, Admiral on the DPS role, Globster on the tank, Empty, Riddle Dog, and Lazaru in that back line. 2 and 3 in the regular season, looking to try and keep that season alive.
Yeah, Globster's been kind of impressive so far. Even in a run that's been a little bit underwhelming for the Echo Knights. Empty, their captain, is going to be looking to come up big, because when you're in a playoff scenario, when you're do or die, he's your captain, that really you want to be stepping up. Riddle Dog, I think, is also a good player. Admiral Kane, quite sure if he's won a map all season, but provides something a little bit different compared to the other DPS. But for the side of Noble Steed, it is going to be Nyanza. It is the Avengers level threat they're going to have to subdue. And who is going to be able to do it well? We're not quite in the cursed apple, so the Drifter will not be making an appearance to Baxter Society. Ivy and Mina in Furnace as well can all lay sleepy in the Baroness, tucked up away in the hotel run by the third member of the Old Gods. But it's going to be up to Ugg, Minky, Sticer, Austin, PJ Walkability, and Wi-Fi of the Overwatch Strike team to try and knock Empty and the Echo Knights off their perch and out of their bracket, because their season is on the line.
Yeah, and a bit of a, we'll call it unfortunate season. Not a super huge jump between these two teams, right? Noble Steed ended up only being able to get the one win during the regular season over... Am I stupid? Snowdrop, I want to say? No?
Okay.
No. It was... we'll get a look here. You know better than I do, I'm pretty sure.
Whale Echo Knights got their wins against Siren Song and Whale Shark. Noble Steed pick up their only victory against Snowdrop, the Turtle Shell Luca brand. Yeah, they play Phantom Verdict in the kickoff. They lose, they play them week 1, they lose, then they get knocked off by Odin Armatori, the Archmother. And then now they're playing Echo Knights as well. So it's the first time these teams have played against each other. But both of them have got pretty similar results. Echo Knights have, of course, got 2 wins compared to the 1. So you would think they're a little bit slightly favoured. I also think Black Crown and Zirael and Caladrius are some of the better teams we've got in the tournament. So Echo Knights, harder run, a bit more successful with it.
Yeah, so as we get ready to head into this series, it will be the selection of Echo Knights to take us to our first map here, Jace. And
yes, high seed.
I do not have a whole lot of insight. You have far more than I do. Where do you think Echo Knights is going to lean towards taking us here on control?
I think they're going to choose a control map. I think they're going to choose one with 3 different points. And I think they're going to choose one that's roughly located on planet Earth.
So that takes out Lunar.
Horizon Lunar Colony, it does.
Yeah, it eliminates Horizon Lunar Colony.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We'll just chalk it up and say, hey, it's probably going to be Lijiang Tower. Yeah.
Technically, that also technically eliminates Junkertown, because Australia isn't real. It's a myth.
Y'all had to send your prisoners somewhere.
Don't know what you're talking about. Australia doesn't exist. It's not real. I would probably say, based on the records and the quick look, Echo Knights seem a bit more dive heavy. So we might get an Oasis or Ilios, I think, if Ilios is in the pool, if I'm not hallucinating that. But I am hallucinating that. Okay, so it's Busan or Oasis. Probably I would expect them to pick. But also, like, I think Ball is like kind of playable on 2 points of Antarctic, and Ball's playable on all these maps, to be fair. Maybe Oasis is actually the place to go. Important to note, actually, that establish this, because I've been checking confirmation. I think Solomon corrected me the other day, and I think he was wrong. I believe the loser of the previous map gets to pick the next map, and they get to decide ban order. I believe that is how.
Yeah, that's what we did last series.
Yes, it'll be the same thing, because I thought it was you didn't get both ban order and.
It usually isn't.
Does that seem too OP? But
it usually isn't, but we do things a little different here. We do things a little different here.
We got to give as much advantage as possible to Empty and Admiral Kane in order to get them a map win. We're trying out here.
We're gonna do our best, as we are waiting on Echo Knights to get their final players in. It sounds like Nyanza a little bit behind the ball, so to say. Yeah, I actually think this is going to be a really, really close series. Both of these teams are super, super close when it comes to, at the very least, their performance in the regular season. They didn't go very far in the kickoff tournament. One more win for Echo Knights. Admittedly, both of those wins were against the 2 teams below them in the standings. Whereas, you look at the one win that Noble Steed had, and it was against the 2 seed from their own group in Snowdrop. Like, I'm wondering if this series is gonna be like, what comes out on top, the quality or the quantity of
I think
wins.
Noble Steed, a lot of people saw the draft and they weren't particularly too high on it. They've definitely got some good forward and backwards. I believe Noble Steed did lose to Archmother.
Yes, they did. They did.
And they were the only team to do that.
Yeah, they were.
And I think if you lose to Archmother, I think I'm not going to be too confident on your team as a whole going into that next series. You know,
they're here. Archmother's not.
True.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but to get into it here, our bans are going to be coming through Echo Knights with the first map pick. We did see it was going to be Lijiang Tower. Yeah, sure, it's Lijiang Tower. If Lijiang Tower's in the pool, it's going to be Lijiang Tower 9 times out of 10. Cassidy, though, the ban for Echo Knights, the ban for
Major Key.
Noble Steed is going to be
Mizuki. Yeah, interesting. I think this is really good for any ball player in the lobby, because I think about the 3 best characters to pick, the 3 best heroes to pick into ball. and that's Midgety, Cassidy, and Sigma. And Mizu, particularly that chain, once you get the exposed soul, you can do some real damage to the Wrecking Ball with that perk as well. But like, there's still some soft counters, I think, to Ball, but really Mizu and Cass, I think, are just good against
we're
Ball.
looking at Sombra. We're looking at Sombra.
We're
looking at Roadhog.
Yeah, maybe. I just the once you get the shield perk, Cass isn't as much of a problem, and not everyone can get hit by the hinder, but Ball, Wrecking Ball, very much on the table. We could be going hamstering.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of feels like an all-in for the side of Echo Knights, I guess. I guess it's actually fine if Globster is going to be on that Wrecking Ball. Should they so choose later on, correct me if I'm wrong, they can also ban Mizuki? Like,
yes. Yeah, it's one ban per team per series.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, is like, they've basically gotten rid of the most intimidating counters to Wrecking Ball here on Lijiang Tower. Without even really having to work for it, they do use, their first ban on the Cassidy, which is one of them. But then Mizuki's out of the pool. And that makes me also think that Noble Steed aren't going to want to play Mizuki to begin with. If they're thinking that... If they're even thinking that Globster is going to come out on the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll play a more Brawl tank. But I think I've seen Globster play Ball before. All players are very committed.
Bro's name is Globe. Like,
true.
I'd be surprised.
Suspiciously Hammond-shaped trench coat.
Just a round trench coat, man.
Yes. Or the Bat Cape. It's like the Bat Cape, but like instead of being a millionaire with
a chiseled, shredded billionaire.
And parents' issues, you just spend all your time in custom games doing ball rollouts. It's like I would be I'm Batman.
Who is Bao Bao? Who are these players?
Who is Bao Bao? That's probably Globster.
Okay, that's awesome. Our prod just doesn't know who Bao Bao is. I love this.
It's probably Globe.
Okay, so Globster's not here. Okay, so that changes things a little bit.
They're getting
this
a ringer.
Is not information that we didn't have.
Cam is also ringing for Noble Steed. Wait, I think I heard something about this earlier. Cam gets Noble Steed and Bao Bao. This is another ringer. This is someone that... this is another, one of the best tanks we've got in A-League as well. This game's about to be a stormer. Admiral Kane trying to break the winless record on his all-interested Farah. That Caspar is going to be a big help.
Here we go. Map number 1, Lijiang Tower. Garden Punch comes through. Bao Bao can't knock anybody off the map. I say that as UG does go careening off, and Cam needing much the same fate here, as it will be a swift fight win for Echo Knights, as the rest of the Noble Steed squad will send themselves off the map to join their brethren.
Yeah, Doomfist, very unconventional as a tank. Still feels like at times it operates as a DPS, just with a bit more HP. But Echo Knights are now in a spot where the Doom can just be an initiator, an entry fragger, can look to be isolated targets. Minky is isolated, and they just take the full power of the Doomfist. Austin is just auraed off the map. Bao Bao scares them into jumping into the pit, and our champ 4 player is dead.
Straight aura.
Yes.
Nothing but... Bao Bao coming in as a ringer, first time in BPL, joined the server today, mind you. Already having crazy impact.
I wonder if this is the one from Riddle Dog or one of Riddle Dog or Empty Nose. Yeah, well, Doomfist, everyone. Noble Steed probably weren't prepped for this. It's given Echo Knights a huge advantage so far. They get to play everything else pretty much comfort, but yeah, I think Doom does an okay job into the fray. She's got a land event.
This Tracer with False Bomb is locked up behind this squad, but Cam is finally able to find that pick on a Bao Bao, who has been such a menace on the Doomfist.
Bao dead.
Minky able to come through with the pick onto the Tracer on the back line as Empty tries to retain hold of this objective, eventually tracked down by the horse, and Admiral, unfortunately, all alone in the skybox.
Yeah, I believe it's completely
Austin's off the
fine.
map again.
I believe it's completely fine to reveal that Bao is also known as Missing, who is a calling all heroes player. So, someone that is maybe known amongst the Echo Knights ranks. We go for the stake urge, just about misses it.
The Ebola shots in onto the Doomfist will be able to avoid significant damage, especially post-Bola with that Meteor Strike. We're going to see Pulse Bomb out in the middle of the Terra Surge, the Barrage, and the Pulse Bomb enough to bring Cam and a couple of friends down. Bao tracks down Minky, and it will be back in control for Echo Knights.
Yeah, Echo Knights has done a really good job of suppressing the DPS of Noble Steed. I think this is a big stage for them. Both Ugg and Minky are making great strides in terms of stepping up this season, going to a league from their previous BPL season, where I think Minky was on an underperforming B League team, and so was Ugg. So they're out of the frying pan and into the fire, and they've had a year to improve, but it's still a high-pressure situation. Austin, of all people, gets the first pick. That's our champ for Lucio.
Austin comes through huge at the beginning of overtime. Minky thrown into the wall, able to...
Goodbye, MT. Yeah.
That's a crazy spear. That's a crazy spear. Yeah, that's a really, really good, strong pick, but it will be the whole disengage for Echo Knights.
Yeah, as a resident of the Isle of Wight, MT should be often used to cliffs and edges. Unfortunately, just had his AirPods in there, so Echo Knights lose to Lucio, and that sound barrier probably would have been helpful for them in that previous fight.
Sound barrier comes down to get this fight rolling, but Bao kind of just evaporates. Essentially, everybody collapse on it to the Doomfist, and the DPS here are finding a couple of picks, but none that are going to really amount to much of anything.
Yeah, it's far too easy for Noble Steed to hold space against this Doomfist. It's feel like both of these tanks get in a position when they have to force the other one to walk into them. It's like checkmate, and I find this so often in certain tank matchups. When you have to force the enemy tank to be the proactive one, it's like 10x easier to be reactive and just punish them for it.
PK able to get it, the fight going early on to Cam. It's a 3-for-2 fight right now as Ugg does track it down PK, and it will be just this Tracer left alive as Ugg throws a strong left hook to get rid of that Tracer. Will be the first objective collected here for the side of Echo Knights.
Yeah, Noble Steed, I think, kind of just run out of resources at the end. As I said, I was talking about how easy it is to punish the opposing tank once you're in the defensive position, once they have to walk into you. Well, Doomfist in such mobility and such speed at which they are able to be mobile that it's quite difficult, and sometimes it doesn't really matter that the Orisa can block off one angle, can poke you pre-fight, and can maybe shove you back in, because if the Orisa is looking at you, then the rest of your team gets in for free, and you can live and get out. But Echo Knights are going to make an adjustment here. This is, I thought, a map that would have been potentially favoured for Admiral. And yeah, just TPing and going over to the Farah. Oh my god, MT died already. That's some kind of record. That MT doing his best munching impression there by getting pre-fighted on the Shanghai. Those who throw.
Alright, here we go. Early fight here as we see that Orisa harkening back to Overwatch 1, getting that shield cart going, and unfortunately for PK on the Tracer, not able to, now on the Genji, not able to get away from that crossbow bolt.
Yeah, and often it's quite hard when your Lucio dies and you try and fight 5v4. The speed control is very important now. The shield matchup, I think, is one that Cam is completely fine to take here, but it gives Bao counterplay with the Lucio speed boost. Once that shield goes out, you can speed past it, then that forces the fortify. There's a lot of downtime between that next fortify and that next shield. You can just continue to move past it. And even though Admiral dies to Cam, the Pharah should not be having issues with the Pharah shield, with the shield in particular, being able to go over it. But Noble Steed, very aggressive in holding places. Look how far forward they are.
Yeah, not really a care in the world for this Noble Steed squad.
We've gone Malga. Interesting.
Theory.
Yeah, good Mauder adjustment. Again, I probably just want something to be able to get past the Orisa shield. Same thing in terms of like I guess a Reinhardt matchup. Just can't be staring at the Orisa shield for too long in this fight. Very powerful character.
Okay. Alright, I guess the Terra Surge giving a little bit more staying power. Going past their own shield, getting active. Came a little bit low, but no worries in this fight. As they drop Bao Bao. Clean up the Tracer now.
Okay, Ugg.
What's happening? What's happening?
It was a misinput.
How many misinputs are we going to see?
Chat, if anyone clips that, I'm going to be very, very angry at you because that was just a misinput. That's okay. Big playoff pressure scenario. Kane's on the flank here. We've actually had the barrage. So just go and hit the backline immediately. Go over the roof and don't hit their backline, Kane. Play your character properly. Go. Oh, we're too slow.
It doesn't seem like anybody's getting to play much of anything on the side of Echo Knights.
Goodbye, PK Nessie.
I need a tally. How many environmental kills are we gonna get?
4, at least so far. Well, there's probably not going to be many on.
I think it's 6 so far.
It might be at 6. We hit 7 before the end of it. It's 95 in touching Echo Knights. Bearing in mind that this is a point that is actually good for Farron. You've got to go to control center next, and you don't even touch. Admiral, the barrage stays in the back pocket, saving it for the next round. Unfortunately, this isn't Marvel Rivals. Actually, very fortunately, this isn't Marvel Rivals. You could not. You'd have to pay me a lot of money to cast Marvel Rivals. Shout out everyone that's left Overwatch for Marvel Rivals. They're getting paid a lot of money.
I did it by myself for 6 hours on Sunday.
Did you get paid?
No. No.
Wow.
And I don't play Rivals either.
What an awful experience.
It was fun. I wasn't taking it too seriously. It was fun.
Valid.
Yeah. I mean, close map so far, right?
Cam is having a map there, by the way. So much damage on the Orisa. I will say that whilst the Orisa a bit more proactive in Overwatch 2, right? Once you get the shield perk, right, it's just muscle memory. If you've been playing the game in Overwatch 1, this shield perk shit, it makes the character so easy. It's just exactly like old Orisa. You just free put, take space slowly. Boom. Oh my god, we ran on a straight line.
Now on the Sierra. I mean, Miki kind of being a nightmare in the skybox right now on.
What a fun goal.
Yeah. This just looks like as soon as that shield comes up for the side of Noble Steed, it just felt like Echo Knights couldn't find a way past it.
Now, I will say that Sierra has potential to be Thanos, but that's in like Diamond and Plat lobbies. She's kind of the Sojourn of low elo. And with all due respect to everyone in this lobby, they are not low elo. And they're a bit better than Plat and Diamond. So I think the Sierra is going to be very difficult to be played here. But this is Baby's first off-angle stand. And this is just Sojourn from Lidl. So let's see how Admiral Kane does. Aggressive swing.
Yeah, very, very aggressive. Pulse Bomb is out and able to actually take care of Austin before falling over themselves. Walkability able to come through, get the cleanse out onto the Orisa. Full of shots in the back line, going to be able to clear out empty as it will be a retake here for Noble Steed. Echo Knights notably did actually get a flip during the course of that fight.
Yeah, and the flip definitely helps them, otherwise you'd be getting into like territory where if you get first picked, you actually just have to wait and then go for only one fight. But this Mauder Sierra, it just hasn't been working so far since they've made the adjustments. Particularly the Mauder. Just was like I'm not seeing anywhere near enough value that Mauder should get. Mauder feels like a character that like it can be so oppressive in the right spots, but like when it's not oppressive, it's like you should just probably swap off. 20.
Kitsune rush in from walkability, answered by the sound barrier, only landing on a PK and empty themselves. The Kitsune rushes will fade away from either side. We see the spree in for PK Nessie, will be able to claim Minky's life. They're chased down by Cam in the end, but done enough in this moment to take the point back.
Yeah, pretty good spam pre-fight from PK Nessie. If anyone's ever played Smash Bros, you just sit at max range and spam PK Fire, and that shit's crazy if you're playing against people that don't really play the game. But we're pulse bombing. I thought we were dragging Bowler or pulse bombing to our own team there from Bao Bao. Noble Steed have given the flip. They've not quite lost the fight of Echo Knights, but they're losing HP and resources, and it's ticking up. This is like doomsday scenario. This is map 1 on the line. Great open.
Okay. Yeah, Nessie comes through big with a pick on the Minky. Cage fight is
Cage fight now. Cage fight now.
Play here.
Don't need it.
Might need it. Cam is very low. Does not have Fortify. Gets the flip.
Kill the horse.
And of course, will be able to track down the Orisa as Admiral doing a little bit of parkour. Unfortunately, chased down by Ugg. But the fight will belong to Echo Knights.
Yeah, so this Sierra ultimate, like, unless you are in plat, it's pretty easy to dodge. But the cage fight's going to make that a bit hard. One thing I will say is you saw like how much once Cam gets out of cooldown, once that shield is gone and no fortify, like Bao does just absolutely delete them. So let's see. Audio's in the back on an angle. Oh my god, Riddle just gets speared and got shot.
Here there. Cage fight in. We're going to see the Sierra ultimate come down. It will get some good damage in. Unfortunately, Admiral does get tracked down. Another mid-fight flip comes through. This one
just give the flip back.
Yeah, not really as impactful as some of the others, but will keep Echo Knights in this map.
It basically means that Noble Steed have time to touch, so they will get a final fight. If they hadn't have flipped, then Echo Knights probably would have been on about 92 right now, and you would have been really scrambling. So you can't properly set up pre-fight. Now Noble Steed get to have a pre-fight phase before having to touch the objective. Kitsune Rush comes in from both teams, and it's... I don't hate where they are.
Crossing Kitsune rushes here. It will be Riddle Dog getting rid of that pesky Tracer early. Spree ready to go for
Nessie.
PK Nessie, able to get rid of Austin. The Bolas will claim Admiral, but the job isn't done, and Admiral gets their first map win of the season here in maybe the most important match of the series.
MT gets a pulse bomb sat on the road, and nobody beats Admiral Kane 10 times in a row in BPL A League. I tell you what, the Sierra pick, yeah. There we go, MT. Celebrate. That'll be a huge confidence boost for Admiral Kane. We are all Admiral Kane, very reminiscent of a song about a dearly departed. Actually, I can't say dearly departed because people think I'm being serious. About a guy that fucking died. Nonetheless, we are Admiral Kane, and yeah, map 1 win Echo Knights. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That was a Jace moment. Sorry, Prod.
Yeah, a great first map in here from the side of Echo Knights come out swinging. Admiral gets that map win. Echo Knights move ahead in the series 1-0. Great start for this Echo Knights squad. A bit of a confidence boost, like you said. I don't know if I would commit to the Sierra. I'll just say it. Unfortunately, I don't think Admiral was the reason they won that map after the first sub map.
Yeah, I think I'm getting the stats from him now. He had 17 kills all map, and after round 1, he had 13. So he got 4 kills on points 2 and 3. Was not doing anything on 2 and 3. But shout out to Bao and PK Nessie in particular, who actually did step up huge. Admiral Kane has got to increase that flexibility a little bit.
Yeah.
But they got their 1 map win, and they can chill for the rest of the series now.
Yeah, I mean, you get your goals and you hit them and you move forward. King's Row is where we're going from that number 2. Got a nice little break from KR last series. Now headed back to good old Londinium.
Yeah, I mean, I've casted Lijiang Tower into King's Row for about 8 solid years.
It's awesome, isn't it?
The thing is if I had a singular Euro, but every time a team lost in the Brawl mirror on Lijiang Tower and then went to King's Row Fletch, I would be the 100% legal owner of Argentina. I would be able to buy their whole country. Admittedly, it's not hard, right? They've got about the GDP of a 10-year-old on Roblox, but
their cash is a little bit down at the moment.
Yeah, they're really fucking poor over there, Argentina. Nonetheless, Xion is picked up by Noble Steed back to Overwatch. W Spain. Yeah, that Xion deserves a ban. PK Nessie was absolutely fraying from Echo Knights. That was the win condition. So that's a good takeaway. Just Xion. You can play Xion across both roles, kind of, can't you? A bit more in the flex DPS spot, admittedly, but still very strong.
I mean, that's not to say that Xion was kind of a one-trick for PK, as we do see the Orisa ban, which Cam did seem to heavily favor on map number 1. But we saw PK also kind of be a menace on the Tracer on map number 1, which, admittedly, the Genji was a little bit lackluster, but who needs a Genji when you got a Tracer and a Xion on you, you know? Nobody needs to play Genji. That guy's outdated or whatever. We do have a substitution coming in for the side of the Echo Knights. Admiral Kane bidding adieu, getting the map win, and immediately dipping out for Higeshi.
He got his one. Higeshi, the mainstay, a big Genji player for them, a big Tracer player for them. Admittedly, not that much more flexible than Admiral Kane, but Higeshi, I think some would say is. Yeah, definitely.
Almost strictly across the board better than Pharah.
I'm getting people swear down that Sierra is broken in my Discord, and I'm just not buying it, guys. If you've got the stream unmuted, I'm looking at you, Empty. I'm looking at you, Nyashus. I'm looking at you, Nina. I'm looking at you, Dustale. I'm looking at you, Kane, and I'm looking at you, not Kane, Ken, and I'm looking at you, Seralee and RMM. I can see you in the VC giggling. Sierra, you can't gaslight me. That character is not good above Diamond. But nonetheless, Higeshi is in. They're on their Tracer. That's a good character. Baobao's on Hazard. That's also a good character. PJ's in. Normally on the DPS, actually, but is on the Kiriko this time. Playing support this season, and apparently doing a really good job. PJ's nuts. Very talented player. I love that guy.
Here we go. Map number 2. Baobao on the Hazard Cam on the Sigma. Not going to quite connect with that accretion right over the head of PK Nessie on the Genji. Baobao turn away, and PK Nessie, you know, I said who needs a Genji, right? It doesn't seem like Echo Knights particularly need theirs at the moment. Ugh, on the Freya. I'm going to run away.
The Freya Hazard matchup is one that I've not got that much experience casting. I've only ever seen it be played and deployed by Yukino from the Hidden King, and that guy is just terrible at Hazard. So I'm going to actually see what happens in the hands of a good Hazard against a pretty decent Freya as well. Up can aim on that character. So far, it's working.
Comes back in on that Hazard, ending up able to retake the point with the help of that Spike Guard and Violent Lead. Nice little retake there. They gave up a little bit of space, but they end up retaining their hold.
Yeah, if you really think about it, every Overwatch 2 dive tank is just Genji. Winston, Diva, and Hazard. These kind of rawly, well, not the full dive ones, obviously, like Doom and Ball are different, but Diva, Winston, Hazard, they are just fundamentally Genji if you think about it. This character is fundamentally Genji. If you think about it, look, Swift Strike, that's deflect, and then Wall is just obviously an added cooldown, just fantastic. Minky died.
A little bit tripping over the staircase, which admittedly, I've been there, but track down that backline though does Baobao and Riddle Dog, keeping this fight well within reach for the side of Echo Knights.
The PJ died, but if you think about it, PJ's character is also just fundamentally Genji as well, because they've got a projectile, a personal survivability cooldown, and a wall climb. Like, isn't that just Genji?
Like a movement ability.
Yeah.
That throws them forward. Okay. Screw you, Cam, in particular.
Fuck that Winston. That's also Genji if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dragon Blade ready to go for PK Nessie, Pulse Bomb. Almost everything except for that downpour to the side of Echo Knights. A couple of support ultimates coming up for Nova. Steed, two guys Sanctuary. The Kitsune rush. Sound barrier down. Austin, though, able to get rid of Mageshi. Here's the Kikai Sanctuary from the side of Austin. Unfortunately, that sound barrier does go away as quickly as it comes in. Cam able to come back in after that brutal solo ult from the side of Bao Bao. Get a cheeky little 3-piece to collect this first objective and get moving into the streets.
Yeah, the Chikai Sanctuary, the Chekai, the Chikai. In that fight, it was the Kek W Sanctuary, because Noble Steed were just laughing all the way to the back. Great commitment from Austin. Echo Knights just run out of damage. They can't step inside the domain. Because they just die if they do. How does she dies to Cam? So both Tracers down, which means that there's only Genji left for both teams. So let's see which team's Genji or Genji clones are better.
I thought Cam was gonna climb away there for sure. And you know what, Jace? You're right, because you know what we call a very, very good player, what we call it when a good player uses Primal Rage?
Chinese.
It's Primal Blade.
Right, yes, of course, yeah.
The other thing is true, though.
Yeah. I think Cam's gonna pop it here now.
Alright, well, no Primal Rage needed. The Kitsune Rush does come down from Dog, but it's kind of worthless. Primal Rage does end up getting caught in
How Chinese is it? Oh my god, it's very Chinese. Oh my god, it's so good from Cam. Okay. It's unbelievably Chinese. It knows Mandarin and Cantonese. Holy shit. Okay, Cam. Worked up white boy with a little bit of sauce. Busts it down. Chinese style on the Winston. Look at him go. That was a great primer.
Repping Fearless right now, low key, my goat.
Was that a Houston uniform?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, he was on that fucking team, wasn't he? Oh my god, I forgot.
He made it to the grand finals with that team.
That's like Celtic Shaq, bro. That's such a jump scare. Like,
They got second place.
It doesn't matter. It's still a jump scare, bro. It was on Shanghai and Dallas with my mind. Cam is dead.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Cam is dead.
Much like the Overwatch League.
Yeah, but not the Dallas Fuel. My NA goats.
I'm actually really happy that Dallas is still a thing. So I know that meant a lot to a lot of people.
I don't care if they don't do anything internationally. They win NA, and I'm happy.
That's the Dallas Classic, though. Do fuck all internationally. That's the MV Classic, to be honest. Bao just like one-shot BJ. I'm telling you, this character is just better Genji. Bao Bao. They let tank players play Genji, and every tank player has always said they've got a point. And you know, maybe Hazard is maybe
just add super next time, bro.
It's like every main tank player, bro. I swear to God. You ask any Winston player or any Winston and Reinhardt player in BPL, they'll tell you they've got a pot of Genji. Apart from maybe like Steed, but that guy's honest.
Pulse bomb from Hageshi.
Let's see it. Demon on the Tracer so far.
Not wanting to waste it on Fury. Was that Cleanse? I couldn't tell which one used it.
Ooh, the Sanctuary.
The recall kind of got it. Yeah, there's a Sanctuary on the objective. This time bank is actually kind of slowly whittled away, weirdly, pretty quickly. There's a bullet shot's not really worth anything there. A little bit of damage to help take Bao Bao down. Cam does have this Primal Rage ready to go. And PK Nessie did actually invest into that fight with the Deadeye, so
yeah.
No way to mitigate the damage coming in, as Hageshi is kind of doing the most right now. Does actually
really good when the fights open up.
Yeah, really. I mean, manages to get that mega health back. Jump across Austin. Nice cleanse coming in from Dog. Primal Rage invested here.
Ooh, how Chinese is it? Let's see.
You know, it's kind of a distraction here. Actually track down PK Nessie, but Hageshi able to take care of Minky in that Tracer duel on the objective. The Winston in the backline trying to track down a frog. does end up getting the kill, I guess. Cam coming back into the fight, and it's again Bao Bao and Hageshi trying to keep this one up, but I mean, in the face of a Winston and a Reaper, a little bit difficult. They did get it to overtime though, which after the way that first round went,
Echo Knights do a good job of kind of draining the time bank though. It's important to remember in Overwatch, every 60 seconds a minute passes. So did a really good job of draining the time bank. Luckily for Noble Steed, Minky was actually so good in these split fights that Cam could just sort of, you know, soft law as an Eastern Primal Rage there. Didn't have to go the full 9 yards with it. Just got one and went back to point and live, which was good enough. Because Noble Steed did a great job opening the fight. Oh, goodbye Cam.
Yeah, well, Cam, when that Primal Rage is not around, looking a little bit more NA.
A little bit unseasoned. Little bit unseasoned potato salady, you know?
We do actually see Bao Bao continuing to find a lot of value in the front line. Cam comes out on the Maga. That's not very Chinese.
No, I don't think they play Winston sorry, Mauga in the Chinese region. Feels like a very NA hero. Someone once described this character to me as just ground Winston.
No, it's definitely. I feel like if you're gonna, hang on, we're gonna discuss this, the round here. As the Sanctuary comes out to answer the Kitsune rush, we do see Bola shots in. Unfortunately, Bao Bao is exploded. We'll be looking for a shot to hit sometime eventually for the Freya. No touch comes through.
We didn't touch the guards.
Zeros on the clock though, so could be worse, could be better. You gotta live with the zeros though.
I think Noble Seed are happy with the cap there, right? Echo Knights did a really good job of draining the time bank. Cam makes such a crucial swap. You can see the numbers. Again, Cam is doing an amazing job. I think Minky and Ugg are like Loki doing fine. Minky's damage was actually a little low for that map. I think that round was about like 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes. So a little bit low damage from Minky, but they were getting quite smothered and not really supported as much. Like you see Austin's damage, right, being a bit higher, just shows that the rest of the team are being a bit more aggressive. Definitely okay with sort of trading Minky in these fights. But also the rest of the team definitely stepping up. And this is the thing with DPS ultimately. Like some fights on DPS, some compositions, right? You do just kind of unironically have to go for the what I call the Jace method, which is just die every single fight. Your stats aren't going to look the best, not going to look the prettiest, but you just die every fight. You get the important cooldowns out from the enemy team. Then the rest of your team that do just as much damage with you either have more survivability or in a more broken role. Just DPS is the third most impactful role in the game underneath support and tank. Sometimes all you've got to do is make an important member of the enemy team die with you, take them down with you, and then it's always a 1-for-1 trade in your team's favor, especially if it's a tank. 100% if it's a tank.
Go into the attack of the Echo Knights here. Punch will not connect to Bao Bao. A little bit presumptuous there as Minky gonna find that kill onto PK Nessie. The soft dive with the Zarya Vendetta in the spawn door, really.
Yeah, everyone else made it out, but dare I say it, Echo Knights now have to make sure that those two that are in spawn don't get spawn camped again. Because Noble Steed are going to need to start up to pincer when they try and walk out spawn.
Bao Bao is on the objective now. Getting a little bit of a slam.
Yeah, we can get off this POV.
Unfortunately, Ugg is kind of fragging right now. Missed a couple of shots at the end of last round.
So Bao Bao messes the engage. Hageshi isn't able to combo with them, and we've got our other DPS in the spawn room on Widowmaker. Empty is also not able to connect with the Tracer. So you're trying to go for an engage that requires 2 off angles, a split, pincering together on the same target. And they couldn't pincer because one side of Hageshi pincer ripped off and sent to the Red Lobster kitchens all the way back in the spawn. PK gets his one though. Big pick onto Austin.
Yeah, PK able to get this fight rolling.
Okay, PK Nessie.
PK found out early, in those first couple of fights, Cam gets rid of himself, unfortunately. So now, it'll be a first objective capture for the side of Echo Knights.
Yeah, very common, very classic vintage strategy almost in Overwatch 2 at this point. If you don't know what DPS to play, just go Sojourn. The hero is very multi-flexible. It basically does everything. Oh, we get the empowered punch, but just in a tight room. Babao gets burst down, doesn't have the ultimate. And Noble Steed. Echo Knights comp really struggle to push cast, which means they've got to kind of win the fight, but Cam is just so unworried about Bao that, like, Cam with a survived Kiriko or Lucio is going to be so good on this cart fight. Like, if someone has to go near cart, they're going to go in beam range of Cam. That's really scary for Echo Knights.
Well, here is Dueling Kitsune Rush as Enki is the first to fall. Minky will shortly meet the same fate. Unfortunately, tankless is Echo Knights.
They picked onto Cam.
Takeshi doing everything they can to make this fight winnable.
Trying.
Cam barrier down. It's not going to be super easy, especially when this Tracer's really, really low. Just grab the health pack and really get chased down.
Did they just let Hardishi live? My god, it's illegal. This guy's a demon. This might be more accurate King Von. If you know, you know. Hardishi is just getting away with murder every fight here. Minky taught out the Sojourn swap, proving that hey, if you don't know what to play, just go Sojourn and shoot them from main apple. Yeah, pretty good character, and it sucks for Zarya to play into that great punch, but we convert on the good fist.
A little bit of damage straight into the bubble, but it's Nessie. This is Nessie's world. We're just hitting in right now.
Yes.
In and now
Chalat.
3K for PK Nessie. I don't think that's that, unfortunately.
Sure. Did they not die at the same time?
The Vendetta was the only one that died to that last shot.
Oh, it was Austin's one before. Okay, because I saw they were both lined up and I saw two on my kill feed. Okay, my fault. I thought Austin. Yeah, there's no way Austin could have died and then come back that quick. Right, that makes sense.
Generally speaking.
But you never know. Where there's a will, where there's a way. That bowler range, by the way, is so stupid. Like, that is more powerful than Orisa Holt. Old Orisa Holt, I swear to God. Bowler pulls you in from like 15 areas. It's so silly. I don't really like Freya. But Echo Knight's really struggling against said Freya character right now. And Minky just feels almost a bit like a distraction. And to allow Ugg to really do damage.
2.5 minutes in the time bank right now.
I think they're struggling for it. A couple of these fights, the Freya has done quite a lot. I think the Freya's been doing a lot. It's just
grab. Yeah, Kitsune Rush grab is just too much to deal with. Too height.
I mean, in the fights where Nessie hasn't just killed everyone, I think Bug has been able to do quite a lot. Hot part is his doofus. It's winnable.
That's why we're investing. Okay. And, you know, I had questions, and I'm glad that they were so nice to answer them.
Noble Steed just run out of resources? Just
that was
can't
very
really...
academic from Echo Knights.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Now,
just come on the call.
Yeah, Minky comes down. Austin super low. Echo ready to go. And yeah, Ken just gonna go down. And now, in an unlosable scenario here for Echo Knights. They can't lose this map anymore.
Yeah, so you 2.5 minutes to get a tick, which is pretty good because you can see what Noble Steed are on and then just, well, counter comp them, particularly with perks as well. Like some characters, their perks depend on what your opponents have, and when your opponents can easily just walk back to spawn and change character. Oh my god, Bao is 41-8.
Bao is going ballistic on the Doomfist right now.
I mean, Hardishi is like 32-6.
Yeah,
again, a little bit like lower damage, but these tank damage is so inflated. By the way, both of them on 15.6k. It feels so inflated. Like they're just like shooting each other, right?
I feel like
Holy
PK
damage.
is a little bit lower down that rung than I feel like they should have been based off of what we were seeing. Kind of felt pretty impactful couple of those fights. I'm not sure if you noticed.
I was watching.
Guy was fragging a little bit. From time to time.
I do think Echo Knights, PK Nessie, and Hajishi have just been trading moments of you go, I go in terms of really popping off. As I said, Ugg and Minky stepping up for Noble Steed this season in terms of this is a level at which I have not competed at in BPL before. Although saying that the level of BPL A-League this season is like, it's very easily beatable by like being on a half-human facing roster. So it's not exactly like a be-all and end-all, right? But nonetheless, Echo Knights coming out on the Vendetta themselves this time.
Yeah, into a pretty heavy counter dive comp right now, but Miki's already dead. That's pretty unfortunate, I would say, for the side of Noble Steed. A little bit of
it's more accurate.
This is Doomfist, gonna find the punch, will go straight up and over, and
nice though.
Counter dive composition works for the first attempt.
Yeah, let's see if Echo Knights make the swap now because they've got more than enough time to do it. Bao Bao, lore accurate Doomfist versus Tracer interaction there, just ripping out her chrono piece, her chrono accelerator, and sending it back to spawn. How did she now on the off angle? But your prime target, is it like Austin? Because Ugg is on the high ground. Great slam.
Fight. Bao Bao has that empowered punch ready to go with this slam on the way. Will not connect though, and doesn't have.
Oh, they're cooldown sync. They're dead. Bao Bao is very kill.
Yeah. Right.
They've always lived for too long.
Surely,
yeah.
Right?
If anything, it's a stagger at this point, which more benefits Noble Steed. Yeah, Cam and Ugg are proving to be thorns. To be fair, Minky does that sort of job in that fight cleaning up. So shout out Minky.
To be honest, I feel like the chains from Mizuki are kind of broken.
Just a cooldown. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hindering for 1 whole second is crazy.
Hinder plus chain, right? Like you land one, you just land the other, and it's just such a long CC chain. As I said, like Blizzard removed stuns from the game, but added in like 3.5 second ability lockouts and slows as well. So it's like, what are we doing? You know? Cam finally gets the mountain mirror that he's desperately been hoping for.
Here we go. One more fight separates us from it.
Cage knew.
Fight. Maybe this map will.
It's like 5 ults versus 0. No way they lose.
I said it was possible. It very much becomes more possible now that we have had a draw on
GD, good draw. Echo Knights, 2.5 minutes, and they don't adapt enough. Noble Steed, they have 5 ultimates going into the last fight. Disaster as Echo Knights pick up their map win.
Play of the game.
Gang have the dogs out, by the way. Yeah, that was crazy. Really, really unfortunate for Echo Knights. But I mean, not exactly perfect for Noble Steed either, really. Kind of a net 0 for both teams. Not even kind of, it literally just is a net 0. It's a draw. Nobody wins.
Of course.
Noble Steed still gets to pick the next map. Noble Steed still gets to ban the next 0.
They should be. I don't know if they're going to be happy with that because Shion is now back on the pool. So you kind of waste a ban, but then also Echo Knights waste a ban. But also, now because that map's a draw, you don't have to rush anyone in because of required playtime. If Echo Knights would have won that map, like for Noble Steed, you almost think about like that as a map win because whilst it isn't a physical map win, Echo Knights are in such a strong position that it's a demoral hit. Echo Knights waste a ban, and then also Noble Steed in most scenarios should be down 2-0 there, but they're not. Which means if they win the next map, it's almost like what we call in the Premier League a 6-pointer. You deny them 3 points, you get 3 points yourself. So all of a sudden a 3-point gap becomes a 6-point gap. -3 + 3, a 6-pointer. The numbers check out. +3 for a win. You don't lose. You're denied 3 points if you win yourself. So a little bit of a 6-pointer potentially if Noble Steed are able to take the next map. But huge pressure for them to do so because if Echo Knights just go and win the next map, then They don't care what happens on King's Row. They'll forget about it.
I don't like that game. That game's boring. Runasabi up next. For map number 3, we head to Push. Now you see it, our map graphic expanded to 6 maps because it's possible now.
We're getting 6 maps. That might be the first draw all BPL season, by the way, Fletch. I don't know how many draws we've had all BPL season.
I come in for the first time in a year, and I get the first stream game that was not a sweep, and then I also get the first draw. A couple of firsts for me coming back from my hiatus. We do know where we're going. It's Mizuki, first ban, going to be Doomfit. I'm stupid. I saw the ban on my second monitor, and I was like, we're going to Mizuki. We're going to Runasapi, where the bans are going to be Doomfist and Mizuki. And I promise both of them weren't banned by Noble Steed person. Prod. NA prod, bro. I don't know what to say. Yeah, okay. So, it's going to be Echo Knights banning Mizuki. And the Noble Steed
I had to pee like really bad.
Oh, okay.
Mizu ban. Yeah, so both teams now ban Mizu. Doom ban for Noble Steed. That's fair. Doom's an annoying character. Pretty good on push as well. Clearly, the 8 for Echo Knights. I feel like Cam was like getting good success on the Mauga. But I guess the banning Doom means that you protect the Mauga ban from the other side as well, right? So Mauga can't be banned by Echo Knights because Noble Steed get first ban because it's still their map. So yeah, I'm happy with the Doom ban there. I think Doom on all these modes can be really annoying. Interested to see what happens on map 3.
Yeah, it's Runasapi, which is a pretty freaking good dive map in general, right? A lot of high ground control to be taken away potentially by these dive characters, and that seems to be what Bao really prefers. So I'm gonna have to change it up here a little bit. We did see the Winston in from Cam last map, so I'd be a little bit surprised to see. I mean, I guess this is a pretty good map for both the dive and like the Orisa that we saw Cam on. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
We shall. Can't really say anything until either team potentially pulls out a comp. I will say that this cat could be a real pick from Austin. Runasapi, very deep in the mountains of Machu Picchu. No, it's not the mountains of. It's mountains of Peru, right?
Yeah, it's Peru.
Some of the, by the way, some of the maps. Like obviously, everyone gets so focused on the dynamics of the map. Some of these maps are so beautifully well designed. Like even the outer areas, the edges of Runasapi and the edges of Esperanza, just so beautiful, so gorgeous. Completely irrelevant to gameplay, but just a little bit of je ne sais quoi in terms of looking at.
If you don't like looking at maps, it's gonna be less likely you're gonna play that map, though. No.
That's why I hate Junkertown, bro. Australia isn't real.
They got 2 Australian maps in this game.
Both are fake. Australia is an imagination. It's a fever dream. Speaking of, yes. Blizzard World is a real place. I've been there. Australia, no, never been. Fake. BK Nessie continues their fortune from map 1.
Yeah.
Continues their fame and fortune from map 1.
A really good start here on the map number 3 for the side of Echo Knights. They do give up a pretty brutal 8.43 meters. That's really going to break the bank.
Listen, some may say that 8 meters in push is actually a big distance, and
Some
Has a great personality. Yeah.
some prefer maybe like 5 meters and a good listener. Nobody ping my wife in my Discord. If you do, you will be banned. Nonetheless, Echo Knights actually building up a percentage now. I fear that we're going to be getting into this burger boxing territory with this Mauga mirror, where both Maugas are just going to AFK and shoot each other. And for any Deadlock fans, they'll recognise the term burger boxing. For any non-Deadlock fans who's not explaining it right now, we're in the middle of a map. Both these Maugas, look, just shooting each other on car. Oh my, this is peak burger boxing. Naeth is probably taking notes.
PK though gets dropped pretty quick by me on the flank. We do see these Leons going crazy. We see Soundberry in from Empty to try and keep this fight going without PK in the fight. Hopping on the bike goes Minky, throwing it forward. Gonna see the Hageshi playing.
This is so stacked.
There.
We could Sune rush the jump pads.
Does it go up short?
TJ did not learn about the interaction or just mistimed it horribly. Again,
I think they got thrown back by like a move. I think they got thrown back by like a move and were intending to just throw it up on the high ground.
I'm gonna assume that. But nonetheless, ooh, a little bit of parkour from Bao Bao. A little bit of and now we get the Maugas. As I said, these fights have been taking place inside both teams' Lucio auras, and they've not left it. Like, this is truly like NA burger boxing at its finest. This is like Billy versus Abrams Deadlock lane. Holy, oh my god, the double cage as well. We are truly burger boxing now.
Cage fight plural. Well, here is a Boxiong investing the spree early. Unfortunately, though, Bao Bao goes down. Fortunately, so do the rest of Noble Steed. So we'll be getting back towards this barrier here very, very soon. There's Mauga there. Not really too keen on fighting that without your own, I'm sure.
Yeah. A wise man once said, "Here, bro, have a tongue," and I resonate with that one spiritually. But nonetheless, Mauga mirrors are just so like you've got to wait 15 seconds for the fight to actually do something. Cam going for the hard hit though on the not Mauga.
Yeah. Oh no, the OC or the Soundberry tried to save Cam, but Cam just went down before the cast time went off. That's brutal. That's pretty good.
It's like a game of chicken. Both Maugas stare at each other and they say, which one of us... We're in an exact mirror, by the way. Exact mirror. This is the first time I've seen this in a long time. We're in an exact mirror. But both these Maugas are basically... Oh, now we're off it. Both Maugas are staring at each other. And we're saying, which one of you... do you trust your DPS? Do you think your DPS are better than mine? Because if so... we can stay staring at each other forever, but if not, you're going to have to go for a stomp play. And remember, I think Mauga's power has been more shifted towards the stomp rather than this burger boxing sustained swap that has been pirating throughout the entire map.
Well, here we go, Kitsune Rush is hidden pretty well by the side of Noble Steed. Both these Maugas have invested the cardiac overdrive already. So, could see some action here. Eventually, here's the sound barrier does land on to that Mauga.
So much damage from Minky.
We're fighting here for sure, guys.
As I said, these whole maps taking place inside of the solo cage from Bilbao. We've got 54 to 16, by the way, because these fights are taking so long and people are getting traded so heavily that like by the time the bot gets walked back, everyone has already sped back into the fight and is immediately able to fight again. And the pre-fight position is like now Noble Steed need to wait for 2 people to catch up, which means they're not going to be able to push it as much as they want. There's off-angle fights going on, the shared 1v1's going on.
Why did we invest cage fight?
Winnable. Here we go, we got a cage fight. Proper good cage fight.
Cam is dead.
Doesn't matter.
A couple picks, but yeah, it was a good cage fight or something.
it got a decent amount, but Noble Steed, I just think they weren't particularly with the targets. Like Minty just went in and ripped the, I don't know the first name of it, the Reaper ult, but better, the Shion ultimate, the spree. Yeah, they ripped the Kanazaka spree. Yeah, the Hashimoto spree I should call it, because Hashimoto clan and shit.
It's Satsuriki's spree.
Satoru. Everywhere I go, I see his face. Rest in peace, King.
He's in 2 pieces, but...
Fuck off.
Get with the times.
No, come on.
He's not coming back, gang.
Nope. Shout out you to Akatsu though. That guy's goat. Anyway,
they did try to bring him back.
I think Noble Steed are slowly bringing this map back to make an excellent segue, because the burger box continues. Would you like fries with that? We're getting full lettuce, tomato, onions, pickles, peppers.
After being
Yeah.
the strongest. Oh, here's the thing. Right, this is better than the last one, I guess.
It was cancelled instantly.
Wow. It's still better than whatever the hell that last one was.
I mean, Udge gets PK Nessie, which means Cam is going to get shot a lot less.
Yeah. This
What
is
do you...
Overwatch.
As an American, I just assume that you like burgers. So what's your go-to burger order? Like, what do you get on your burger, Fletch?
Dude. I'm a big guy. I'm 230, 6'5", 230. Like, I just classic.
You're 6'5"?
Yeah.
Bro, pull up to Philadelphia. They need a center. What the hell? Like, get off Overwatch. Lock in. Anyway. Oh my god, Fat Freeze Majesty. Something happened. Wait.
Here's the spree. No, they don't need spree. They got a beat, no?
And who else?
On?
True, they do have Braun now. Yeah, Braun's not going to play center. They need center. The Lakers need
He is
players,
the
to be
center.
fair. The Lakers need people. They got no bench. The Heat need people. They got no bench. Anyway, what'd you get on your burger? Wait, well, Echo Knights are going to be the first ones to get the bot. They're going to get the scratch point 1 minute in. 1 minute left.
Burger patty, cheese, ketchup, egg.
Egg is not basic, not in the EU anyway.
Oh, but, well, it's not basic. That's if I want to get like.
Wait, how does she kind of choke the 1v1 there? Excellent peel from Minky, and it's important to remember that the capture point, the halfway objective, I call it the scratch point sometimes. The scratch point was just capped by Echo Knights, that all important 60 meters or so, 55, 58 meters, with 1 minute 90 seconds left on the timeline. They say push starts at 3 minutes. This is the most winnable map ever for me. That's fair. This cage fight is over and easy, right? Super simple for Noble Steed. Yeah, I think I go.
Push and get through the actual checkpoint itself.
Yeah, hella winnable. The butt scratch is going to weigh off time. The overtime thing definitely does matter. For real quick, my burger order is lettuce, onions, bacon, cheese, and peppers.
I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I fuck with that heavy. I fuck with this OC heavy as well.
Okay, yeah, able to come down and get rid of
Big kill.
Austin.
Remember the overtime witch.
Some solid tracking by Bao there. Doesn't end up going down.
DPS
but
player.
It is a super favorable fight for the side of Echo Knights here.
Have Echo Knights done it?
Really need to do it. They have done it.
From the jaws of defeat.
They've moved to map point after one of the maps ever.
Yeah.
Play of the game.
That was Malga.
If I pull up to the regular VC afterwards and people say, why are you talking about burger orders like mid map, like just test the game? I don't know, but like, are you seeing what I'm saying?
I'm just going with the flow at this point. To be
Yeah.
honest with you.
What's the worst thing you've seen someone order on a burger quickly? Is Echo Knights, by the way. Actually put themselves on match point. We should probably talk about
Have
that.
you ever seen that episode of SpongeBob where he puts jellyfish jelly on a burger?
No, but that's not real though. Like, what would like?
I know people who put jelly on burgers.
Oh, like it's an actual human being though.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the map 3 stats real quick as well. Don't look at them. Over under the damage for the Maugers. How much damage do you think the Maugers did each map? Bearing in mind it was basically a full 10 minutes. We got full 10 minutes, no more, no less. We got about 10 and a half minutes there. It was about 30 seconds of overtime.
15K.
Yeah, basically bang on. 15k, 16k. I mean,
Yeah,
most of that's
it's
inflated,
Mauga.
right? 'Cause
It's
it's just on
Mauga.
the enemy.
It's Mauga, right? There's not really much to break down. It's wait for the cardiac overdrive to clean up, and once it's done, then you can go.
Yeah.
Right? It's really not too complicated. It's more of a rhythm game.
Who do you
at that point.
think did more healing, Bao Bao or Empty? Who do you think mitigated? Who do you think
Bao
did
Bao.
more? Who do you think? No, it was Empty. Who do you think did more out of mitigated damage from Bao Bao or healing from Austin that map? So did the Mauga mitigate more damage than Austin healed?
All right. Let's pump the brakes on the bets here. We need to cut to a short break. When we come
What a
back,
crazy map.
Noble Steed gonna have to buck up here, figure out something to stay in this series, stay in the season, lest they be eliminated. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
See you later.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Map at number 4 on the horizon. Also on the horizon is Noble Steed's elimination if they do not figure out a way to knock off this this Echo squad here. So as we head into map number 4, it's going to be Suravasa for Flashpoint.
Yeah, and it's feeling a bit like a song by Bring Me the Horizon. No, I don't know any Bring Me the Horizon songs. I can't even LARP and pretend I listen to that band. They are so terrible. Sojourn ban, good from Noble Steed. Echo Knights could ban Mauda if they don't want to play in the mirror. If Mauda stays open, then Noble Steed could play Mauda and take away a big factor of damage that goes onto said Mauda. Yeah, that's to be expected. Surely they won't ban Mauda, guys. Surely, after almost losing the map to pure burger boxing. As I said, I hope everyone managed to get a burger during the break.
I had a pizza between the last couple of games.
Close enough.
I went to Little Caesars. God.
Shout out Julius Caesar. Shout out Julius Caesar. We're now moving over to somewhere that probably doesn't have a Little Caesars, but might have better seasoned food. Suravasa. I wonder which team will be spiritually granted the India buff by our Lord and Saviour Captain Crash. Which team will play the most honest and ethical Overwatch this map? It's probably not going to be Noble Steed.
I don't think either team is welcome to that title because they both played Mauga last map.
Well, one was Mauga by necessity, the other was Mauga by design, you know? The thing with Overwatch, right, is there's a difference between honest and ethical. I think Roadhog is an honest hero because it's super simple kit. You know exactly what he's gonna do.
Echo Knights banned Mauga. They're the
yeah,
ones
they
that
did.
So
yeah, no Mauga this map. Yeah, because Noble Steed were the ones that picked it first.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think good for Echo Knights because Noble Steed are gonna have to not play Mauga, of which they were getting an insane amount of value playing Mauga. Also did lose the map. That was the closest they've looked all series. Definitely good into the Orisa as well, right? Because you can just set the Orisa on fire. And I don't think... Does Orisa have reduced crit damage during her Fortify these days?
She doesn't give crit damage.
No, Orisa, like in Fortify, like if you burn the Orisa...
I mean, maybe...
You can't crit her in Fortify.
She might. I think it's still the two times that would have been like otherwise, but
well, that's what I mean. If she's in Fortify and you can't crit her, then Margaret won't.
I mean, I think you can, just because you can't headshot her, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have numbers.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure you can obviously burn and get the increased damage by shooting the burn target with the Mauga right click. Bao Bao will be back on the Doomfist. Important to know that Bao Bao, ringing from Calling on Heroes, is actually primarily a DPS player. Hence why they've been playing the stuff like Mauga, right. Doomfist. They probably got a Doomfist on them. Probably got a better Doomfist on them than Quaked on. Probably an old Doomfist player from back in the day. Yeah, Minky just been going on Sim and then immediately teleporting out onto the Tracer.
They're calling you fake, by the way.
Who's calling me fake?
They just put British in quotations.
I am like half fake British. It's real and it isn't, you know? Like fiberglass.
I've never been there.
You're not missing out.
I know. I know. I can go down the street and get better food than you can. That's
Cam. But Cam has killed Empty first. Empty pre-fighted. Classic.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit tough for this Doomfist here. A little bit less flat, a little bit more control-y.
Yeah, I'm not taking food banter from a man coming from a country who put corn syrup and cornstarch and everything. That ain't me, dog.
It's yummy though. That's what everybody said when they came here for the sport you invented. So.
Heart disease is calling. Pick up the phone. And Cam, it's not Fortify and Javelin spin here. Now burned that one, so Fortify is still available. But Baba was cooking off screen. Yeah.
Baba coming up big here with 2 picks.
Baba kills 3 actually in that fight.
That's such a funny fight because Bao kills 3 and all of them were off screen.
Yeah. It's like a Shakespeare show.
I mean,
all the kills off screen.
The second we look at Bao, they fall off the top.
Bao POV. Oh my god, he's just taking a million. He's gonna die here. Oh, wait. Huh?
No, more accurate.
That is low accurate. Is that the outplay of the whole map, or does Minky just blink at them in a straight line? I'm not sure. I'm trying to trade though. That does more than trade.
All I know is that Bao is gonna find another pick here.
Just don't spectate Bao ever.
Fight. Yeah, Bao is a little bit camera.
Hold that.
Unfortunately, Kiriko exists.
Kitsune
Rush comes down into the Kikai Sanctuary. Punch out is Austin there under a lot of duress right now, but not going down. We're gonna see the spree come through as PJ finally goes down. Cam's able to get rid of both supports. Kitsune Rush being such a nuisance on this objective. Cam with a hat trick in the fight. Road Dog able to get rid of 1, but Noble Steed able to walk away with this first objective.
Yeah, you're getting some really weird split fights here because both of these tanks aren't looking to interact with each other. Like any fight that Bao doesn't go near Cam is a success. But Cam's also saying, I'm happy with that because I'm Orisa and I can just 1v1 anyone I see on the enemy team because my cooldowns will let me do it. Great chain, great pull spot. Goodbye Bao. You didn't walk up to the Orisa, but you walked up to Austin. And Austin hits a chain. He's going to hit them eventually. Missed a couple last map. Didn't have the best last map as well. But back on the allowed Mijiki and popping off with that chain. It is really the cooldown. Like Austin's here for the sanctuary and the chain. That's pretty much what the main support is doing.
Well, here is the Terra Surge. Ooh, just short of the empowered connection onto the Mizuki, and
they just fall over.
Yeah, you gotta get off the this here. I think this is just not working.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I think Noble Steed have been doing a good job, to be fair, of just killing the Doomfist when they miss their cooldowns. This is the thing with Doomfist. If you don't manage to splat the person that you're shooting at, they will just shoot you back harder, and then someone else that doesn't get punched is also shooting you as well. They can actually just play kill the Doomfist here, because they just don't load all their cooldowns into his defense matrix power block thing, into his power block, then he's not really going to get empowered. And even if he does get empowered, Cam can just walk at him and tank it, and it's like no trouble.
Well, there goes Bao into the backline, chained up.
Great spear.
Gets thrown on with that spear. Unfortunately, Cam not really too healthy. Nothing in the way of these defensive cooldowns anymore, but not being targeted. So those cooldowns do eventually come back. The Kitsune Rush assists in that inquiry as well. Kitsune Rush coming down from the other side as well. Here we have the bring in from the other side. Here is that ultimate. Will not find much of anything. Pulls out the recall from the Tracer. Austin does not connect on the chain there for the moment. Now headed in, right back out. Austin does get tracked down. Inti looking for something, will get chased down by the Tracer here as well, and it will be Noble Steed coming out on top of a second objective in a row, looking like a completely new team.
Yeah, really good for them. We could be going the distance on this one. Bao finally swapped off the Doomfist, giving up the ghosts, deciding to go Diva. I think that's fine. Zarya here is potentially in pressure of going the perk. And Cam is hopefully subscribed to the school of good Orisa players and just doesn't take a major perk until they see Zarya, and then you take the shield perk.
You don't really need a major on Orisa. Some may say this is the weakest Orisa has been in a while, but I think she's actually still quite strong, which just shows how broken Orisa has been for the entirety of Overwatch 2's lifetime. I'm not a fan of this horse. This is a fuck-ass horse. Bad character.
Bow Bow on a broken character, able to die.
Yeah, D.Va a bit good too.
A second pick as well. A little forced back to the this will be the first time here this map where it kind of felt like Echo Knights has had an advantage.
Yeah, and they got point control. It's important to remember that D.Va can do so many things in this game that she can't do all of them at once. She's got to focus on the important things. And that's difficult sometimes as a tank player to do because you end up trying to do too much, you end up doing nothing. So Bow Bow, whilst there's a lot they can do, you know, sometimes choice is an illusion.
A version there of the Terra Surge side of Bow Bow, who almost has the self-destruct 94%, but can't quite get there before the G-Mech comes through. They're going to turn their attention to this D.Va to not allow the remech. That HP is low enough where you're not going to be able to no matter what. So it will be a fight in and put there for Noble Steed.
I wonder if you could have staggered it a little bit more. Cam's looking for picks. If they get any before this D.Va respawns, it's criminal. And I think PK Nessie just hits the worst stagger of all time. Such a bad stagger. They're going to respawn at like low 50%. And Echo Knights, they've got an ult jump and they only need to win 2 more fights for the entire map. So Echo Knights really well, for lack of a better word, throwing. Like they are not putting themselves in any sensible scenario to win.
They might not even need 2. One of them goes, more likely this map goes.
This could be one fight.
Yeah, Kitsune Rush answers, but Bow Bow, you know, not really dropping a step now over onto the D.Va, able to get rid of making this Orisa a little bit annoying. Ugg has to jump up to the high ground to escape the duress of the Tracer and
Noble are gonna get 99.
counting now
There we go.
for Echo Knights.
Yeah, they get the flip. They are gonna get 99. However, Noble Steed don't really have the ultimates to be able to recontest, so it's just a neutral fight. But honestly, Echo and 83 and counting, Echo Knights might have just saved this point at least by the skin of their teeth. If you're Noble Steed here, and honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world to drop this point and just play for ult charge. Great pick from PK Nessie.
Yeah, PJ goes down, but it sounds
Oh my
like
God,
Noble Steed. It sounds like Noble Steed just does not want to give this up at all. Gonna just try and collect on this map here, no matter what.
We went to Saravasa, Cam off the Malga. Turns out he could also play Orisa. Bear witness to it. Run from it, dread it. Does it arrive all the same? Are Echo Knights pulling? Isn't it going to be a miracle on 7th Street? Oh my God, it's an empty Ajax. Oh, it's an empty Ajax to bottle it. Oh my God, my Chungus.
I mean, looked very, very close. I mean, they do get rid of Austin, but they hop off the objective, unfortunately.
Noble Steed.
Really close to being brought back, but Noble Steed will take us to a map number 5 here.
Yeah, and it's important to mention that throughout Heaven and Earth alone, that is the honoured horse. You are watching, you are bearing witness
the Noble Steed.
No, or the Noble Steed, but also let me just make this an absolute genuine point of actual good analysis. That's the best Orisa in BPL, by the way. That's been the best Orisa in BPL. That is the best Orisa in BPL. That will probably always be the best Orisa in BPL. Cam is undoubtedly the top dog, the top horse. They are absolutely fresh out of the blocks. No one stands above them. That map is just another one in his narrative. Like, with all seriousness. I know it's, oh my God, it's only Orisa, but no, that's the best Orisa, unequivocally, unanswered. And Cam proves it in a clutch situation at match point yet again. Because the Doomfist matchup is pretty Orisa favoured, but you've still got to put in the work, and you've still got to deal with the other 4 members of Echo Knights. And they did. So yeah, another great map from a great Orisa in BPL. That's the top one for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Noble Steed needed, right? We're going into map number 5 now. I mean, it'll be up to Echo Knights. That's kind of the unfortunate part about going down 2 maps to 0, right? Is that for the rest of the series, Echo Knights is going to have their pick of the litter when it comes to maps.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're not going to be drawing anymore because I'm pretty sure we're just going back to control now.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Oh, no. Okay. It'll be escort.
For reference, by the way, the number's pretty skewed. And again, sometimes the numbers aren't necessarily real. Cam did more damage than his backline, his backline and his tracer combined. He did more damage than Empty, Bao Bao, and Riddle Dog combined. Did more damage than Nessie, and basically did the same at pretty much. What's that? It's about
8 plus 5 is 13, and then 8 plus 6, so that's like 14.8k. So he does just under 2k less damage than Hardashi and PK Nessie, by 2k less damage than the entirety of the Echo Knights BPL DPS line by himself. Again, Orisa damage can often be inflated, but I don't know, man. Like 23 into 12k damage, such a big part of creating kills. That's off-tank level damage in Overwatch 1. That's Sigma mirror damage in Overwatch 1 from Cam on the Orisa there. As I said, sometimes you just have to sit back and say, that might be the best we've ever seen and the best we ever will see. W Glaze, I'm sure he's going to be really happy with that. But Echo Knights, another big reason for that map win was absolutely UG on the Freya. I think he had a really good map on the Freya. And taking that out for Echo Knights is going to be big as we head to Escort.
Yeah, for the record, the map is going to be Circuit Royale. I think we were
Damn
complacent.
I think we were yapping a little bit. I'm a little bit surprised that we don't see a Sigma ban. But, oh, we actually do. We do see a Sigma. Okay. Sigma's banned out for this map number 5. Which, by the way, can we talk about that? It's map number 5. What the hell? It's not 2-2. It feels different. It feels different when there's a draw.
It's still match points. It's still match points.
Point just as much as it would be match point if it was map 4, right? That it always feels different when map 5 is because of a draw and not because of the like a really back and forth series, reverse sweep type thing.
That's been quite back and forth. I guess it's been back and forward. The draw was like really good from Noble Steed, and then Runa Sarpi was like they just dropped that map, and then this one was a complete womp. So maybe the Mauga, maybe the Mauga was like a self-imposed heavenly restriction on Cam there, the honored one. Maybe it was like it's like when that scene in Naruto when the guy takes the training weights off and he becomes like the Flash, you know. The Mauga, you know, you thought you were locked in there with him, but he was locked in there with you.
Hang on, we got the closer returning for map number 5, Echo Knights, bringing in
Kane Bane.
Admiral Kane.
Oh my god,
the closer.
We need the
LeBron returns home.
I don't quite have an MLB reference for this one, but person has just put Miller from the Padres walking up to the mound. I've got the gif of Triple T stepping up as the pinch hitter. This is the pinch hitter, you know. This is the it's bottom of the 9th. Bases are loaded. Freeman's on 3rd. Parhez is on 2nd. Parhez is on 2nd. Freeman's on 3rd. Teoscar Hernandez is on 1st. It's Otani up to the plate. The Shohei Otani of Farah on Circuit Royale of all places. He's probably going to play May. He should play May because he can play May. But he might play Farah. Noble Steed actually banned. Noble Steed banned Sig. That's good.
Yeah, I don't.
Orisa is just still Thanos here.
I don't think fair is all that bad on the first objective, really.
It's not bad on first, but like on second, it's like
Yeah, it gets,
just a long
awkward.
corridor.
It gets awkward.
And it's more playable on. It's more playable on third, weirdly, because like it's inside points, and you can just sort of hit cheeky off angles on the right side with it a little bit. Like Farah has a little bit of dive bomby in her kit now, but like, ooh, wait, hit it, PJ. Yeah, kill him. Ooh, kill him. Ooh, hit it. She was hitting that shit, low key. Speaking of hitting that shit, Ugg, can you do something for me? Oh, but imagine though.
0% scoped accuracy, by the way.
Nah, come on, he had to go for it. I would have hated to see the heavy hitter come in and then immediately ground ball to first. Like, that would have been Admiral Kane dying there. An immediate ground ball off the first pitch to the first baseman. The bases are still loaded for you, Admiral. Hardishi has signed off for the Easter. It's in your hands now. Hey, LeBron, don't worry. Ben Simmons is
You know what? Admiral Kane has not lost a map tonight. I'll just say that.
True. Look at that aura. Scares Minky into the lobby. Scares Minky off the lobby, actually. Scares Minky out.
Back into the small room now.
Yeah.
Here we go. Forcing back a little bit after that pick on to Minky. PK Nessie under a little bit of duress. Not too worried about it. Ursa has to back down a little bit.
The Ben Simmons of Farah continues his dominance in the air. Back over to you on the play-by-play.
Admiral's got a little bit low there with the stickies from the Echo. As we drop below 3 minutes on the clock on objective A. They're looking for something to shoot at that's not called a barrier.
Good damage into the Orisa.
Yeah, but it's kind of completely mitigated by a couple of pretty strong supports over on the other side. They got the Nano Boost on the way here very, very soon from Austin.
Hit a couple of big sleeps this season already on Arna. Wouldn't say it's his best hero per se, but he's had some pop-off moments on it.
On the back end of this Ant Matrix,
Karma's inevitable.
the Nano Boost from onto Minky was unfortunate, but I guess it's fine because
Empty?
the rest of the squad is able to clean up with Minky and Tam on the front lines.
Noble Steed just slowly and slowly peek it out. They don't have any buttons. One of the reasons that you can pick Arna is that the Nano Boost comes up first. In one of the first ultimates to be built. Always has, always sort of will be. Noble Steed did a good job of just taking all the poke and converting it into support. Echo Knights kept Noble Steed back from walking, but all they were doing was just waiting to give them a very clear engage, easy engage with the support. Speaking of easy engage, PK Nessie rips the OC. And Juno right now.
Surge. Looking for a rocket barrage potentially from Admiral here. A little bit of duress. The Annihilation comes out from the duplicate. Only have to weather that one for a couple of seconds.
Oh, see you later.
As soon as that ultimate comes to an end, it goes
Bow Bow.
night. Yeah, Bow Bow out of the way here. Riddle Dog meets the same fate post Immortality Field.
Yeah.
And you know what they say, Jays? I mean, Baptiste is just too honest in the year of our Lord 2027.
Yeah, I think Bap's low-key a bit useless here. I'm not going to say the Farah is useless, because she's actually doing good damage and good poke damage, and sort of basically baiting, saying, hey, if Noble Steed walk up, you're going to be eating rockets. But then Echo Knights need you to collapse on the target, because the worst thing you can do is poke them to 50%, and then just not do anything else after, because you're just feeding support or charge. Austin's got Nano again. And that's really bad for the side of Echo Knights. But Bao Bao had enough and goes over to Diva to try and deal with the DPS and the nades as well. That's their one.
Bao Bao more than happy to come into this fight, take care of Minky first and foremost. Heads up to the high ground to try and put some pressure on the back line already, though that mech is incredibly damaged. Looking for a cheeky angle on this high ground, carpeted area for the side of Cam, who has the Terra Surge ready to go. Gonna try and press the issue with this Kitsune Rush down. Not even gonna think twice about using that Terra Surge. Rocket Barrage is in and Admiral is out. So it will be...
Cam continues his reign of dominance. He has their whole team in a headlock, and then he leaves them slumped in an Imogen heap afterwards. They are just bodies on the floor for this Echo and this Orisa combo. Minky with the nano boost this time.
Yeah,
Doesn't do anything with it, unfortunately.
Nanos onto Minky have kind of been cosmetic, just giving the Echo a bit of a blue paint job.
You nano the Surge on the angle once the Orisa can't contest her. You can maybe nano the Orisa once her Fortified goes. You can nano... I feel like Surge and Orisa are such good nanos here. I'm wondering why you're giving it to the Echo. You can do a lot of burst damage with the Echo, to be fair, but Admiral over to the Sierra. Okay, we're going from Pharah to Sierra. It's a slight upgrade. D- to D tier.
Alright, nice little eat on the disruptor shot there. A little bit, not a lot of it, as the overclock is invested by UG. That's a...
Goodbye.
Yeah, UG goes off the side of the map. Not before,
about Aura?
Not before dropping empty there. In a very sketchy position for any support to be of an overclock.
Echo Knights are still holding it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
The good thing is that the spawns are really, really close. So the orbital ray, which I would have preferred to be a little bit further up, so they could be more aggressive with it.
They did a bit of early.
Yeah,
Well, that's a great window.
Here's the nano boost again onto Minky. We'll be able to get the DMAC on a Bao Bao, and Admiral meets their maker. We see PK Nessie trying to dive onto whoever that is in the off room over there. I believe it was UG. And that will be a map completion here for Noble Steed, a completely different squad with this Orisa in play.
I do think, to be fair, that the nano onto Minky is a good way at dealing with this diva really quick. The stickies and the execute beam does so much damage when it's nanoed. If anyone gets within amplified damage for that focusing beam, the nano boost is going to give them the speed to be able to collapse, the damage reduction to be able to do so safely without worrying about trading. Because you're always going to win in terms of the damage check. So why not give yourself a bit of damage reduction and speed boost to be able to do it and get in and get out? Yeah, Cam just 14-1. UG 11-2. It's important to mention that UG is not quite quietly, because very obviously as well, but with how much Cam is doing, obviously, and getting the resources to do so, UG is also doing very, very well. As we said, they had to step up in this series. And right now, Echo Knights, they're going to need to find something different, otherwise we could be going to map 5 and we could be getting a full reverse sweep. Is the Steed alive?
Yeah,
It's the Steed. It's this. What's a group of knights called?
5, 4,
a platoon.
3, 2.
It's not a platoon.
Attackers incoming.
Oh man, like
Stop the payload.
a group of knights is a group of knights.
Nope. That doesn't feel right either. That feels like a group of bards.
I don't know. Here we go. Other side of the map now. Echo Knights on the attack now on the Zarya. That means that Cam can
Minky
take that shield perk with very little hesitation now. For some reason, Minky wants to do the ending on the Sierra now.
I don't know why we're playing Sierra. This, as I said, this is probably the worst part in the game. We're on Sierra, so because I think Minky's having a really rough match, so they're just going to try and find something to get any form of value. Luckily for Echo Knights though,
And this double hits on duo means that Bao Bao just needs to bubble when they are essentially trading like a MOBA on the Orisa, and they can just sit and poke like this. Like, look how little damage Bao is taking. He's got 2 bubbles and can just... Yeah, this Zarya is going to be so hard to kill for Noble Steed if they've got bubbles alive, which would be very easy for them. They should basically never run out of bubbles though.
Yeah, it's not super...
Oh, we got a bit too zealous.
Yeah, explosion there onto Bao Bao. This is still a very winnable fight though, regardless, because...
It should be.
Well,
really
the
bad.
Orisa, because the Orisa doesn't have any cooldowns, and Orisa kind of becomes a sitting duck when she doesn't.
Yes, he popped. Yeah, I can see the body block though. You're trying to go for the body block. It's almost a smart play. Unfortunately, your body block, so you're kind of stood still. So the rest of Noble Steed just absolutely blow you up, whilst Cam is in fortify. Whilst he got burst up, PK Nessie does a great job of using that Orisa's committed position on the cart to swing wide and clean up the rest of Noble Steed. It's going to have to be a big match in the table. Now, we get the horse mirror. It's the Grand National out here. Look at all these horses.
Here we go. Amp Matrix in.
Ooh, good wall.
Countered out by.
Cam's healing there, by the way.
Yeah, that was a pretty good. That was a pretty good immortality field as well. We see the OC come down from PK Nessie. A nice shot there. Nice shot there. Drop there onto the opposition. We see the orbital ray in.
Traded him in raids?
They know where the Orisa's at, and they know where the Ana's at, and now Bao Bao getting walked down.
PJ gets a kill and lives, that's illegal.
PJ gets the swift step away, empty. Gonna get
Got some
sniped
Minky.
up the skybox, and now it's just going to be
Empty's Ray was so bad here. Like, we're raying on the cart when we sort of see Cam running away from us. Like, just hold it, just be patient. A little bit of indecisiveness there. Empty has it for basically as soon as after Austin dies. It's absolutely perfect. But the Ray, like, Cam just leads them away from it, you know? Parting the Red Sea, parting the Blue Sea. Big Rav. Didn't get anyone in it though. Kind of is.
Okay, we'll be able to track down PJ, fortunately. The Nano Boost actually still going out on the Minky for some reason.
Nano made pretty good.
Is it? I didn't see
No, it isn't. No, it's
No,
not.
that's kind of what I assumed.
We're continually nanoing our flex DPS, who's having a really poor time playing the game into Echo Knight. I think at some point you got to give Udge the nano, particularly against the Zarya with no bubbles, because Sojourn, it's a scary hero I think for Zarya to play, because if you get caught eating a railgun without a bubble, you are so dead.
We go outside now for the side of Echo Knight.
3 minutes 40 left.
Looking a little bit diffy on the Zarya comp now.
Yeah, good character. Again, Bao Bao is just sort of realizing that like Cam is the Avengers level threat, and the rest of Noble Steed are not doing that much into the tank. This is a shut blizzard and hope. This is not what we expected. I think he's having some trick snap actually. Good shots though, at least.
Yeah, just disengage. They're going to come back with a couple of ultimates of their own. Another Gravestone Surge just about on the horizon here for Bao Bao. Looking for it now as we get the look onto the Zarya, who
That's a great main wall.
is going to not quite pop Bao Bao.
Doesn't
Yeah,
convert.
yeah, that's really, really unfortunate. For him, invest that Terra Surge to try and stay alive, but
That's PJ and a legal exit pick. Yeah. I think unfortunately here, like Minky's just trying too hard to wall off the Zarya when the rest of his team just like can't kill said Zarya if they get one. May's in a bit of a rough spot at the moment. I'm not sure what they go. I'm not sure what they've got in the real house of them, but Gion's probably good enough.
Reinhardt is the answer apparently. PK Nessie throws in.
Nessie is the answer, that's 3.
Yeah, we're gonna see the Nano Boost on the Reinhardt here. as they try to clean up with this fight. Up did go down really close to that fight. OC now from the other side.
Got away from
to find the late kills, and now we look at the clocks. About 51 seconds separates these teams.
3-3.
Is it really that old? Noble Steed did a good job, I guess, of breaking the time bank a little bit. 50 seconds though on first point is another fight, admittedly.
Initiating
So Echo Knights coming in with at least a time bank advantage, but Noble Steed have attacker's advantage. So it's going to be attacker's advantage versus the time bank theory. Will we see the Rene theory, the attacker's advantage? Will we see it play out? Overall, I think it's been a very balanced map from the side of Echo Knights. As I can see, yeah, Minky actually negative. Had a really rough map. Just been the target of, I get it though, like playing against a Sojourn as good as this, and Bao Bao also been in their face constantly. Just feels like they're never really figuring out where to stand on the map and how to get support from their team. All these resources are being dumped into Cam, and whilst you are getting the nanos, it's like you're just getting the nanos and being asked to pour water from a rock. Like, it's been a tough map for Minky so far, but that's what happens when you go up against Sojourns as good as Nessie. It just makes it so hard to play sometimes. Ooh, that's you.
Cat Bastion. Cat Bastion in the skybox. You see Admiral sees the play here as
With the air shots. Empty just.
Ugh.
Admittedly, Empty stands by a wall for the next one, so I think that last one he actually dies to splash damage, but that was a clean direct hit from Ugg there. Cat Bastion. One thing I can say is that Ugg's mechanics have been pretty clean this map. Continuing to really step up. As I said, this is the first time in A-League this season, and Noble Steed have needed someone to get going. They've needed a second option around Cat, and Austin, who's very good on the Cat, is giving Ugg all the opportunities to show that they've got confidence in mechanics. It's huge for Noble Steed, as I said. Minky's having a rough map, Ugg certainly isn't. They're doing everything that they can.
Alright, well, here is the counter Bastion. The counter Cat Bastion in play now. Have to get Nessie out of the
Admiral air shot.
Unfortunately, Ugg is able to drop that.
Cam kills Riddle though.
Yeah, I mean, this fight is super close as Wheelstorm comes back out for the Bastion Sky of UK. Nessie unfortunately can't find anything.
Shot from Cam.
So we're going back into this second objective here as Maga enters the fray again for Bao Bao.
Good kill from Austin. Yeah, Echo Knights, I think, make a bit of a panic swap here. I'm not sure if they start with the Lindholm explosive perk that turns it into old Bastion up from Overwatch 1. If you take the one that self-heal one. I don't know whether the turret form Bastion or the explosive Bastion is better in the mirror. We've grabbed the Mauder, but what a sleep. What a sleep from Riddle Dodge redeems himself for getting early picked in that last fight. And Austin, they get too zealous.
Go now. Here's the rocket barrage. Can they find it? They do. Admiral coming up huge with the rocket barrage, and now the nano boost on to Admiral. Clean up here. 33.3 meters into this second objective.
It's really winnable.
Very
really
doable.
winnable. Yes, it's not over the high ground, so there's potential that Echo Knights, if they win a good first fight, Noble Steed, they may attempt to hold closer here with the 2 minutes, but the big thing for Noble Steed here is that they need to try and get a fight that is equivalent to, they need to get that second point fight. When Echo Knights just push the cart, just into first, just into first point, and then they get to sit on what I call the demonic high ground. We all know which one I'm talking about. They get to sit above the cart as it's tapped on first. They get to use that hard angle. They get to use that cover. That big impenetrable barrier, and they get to use that really good peak angle, and then take an off angle as well. They're going to have a chance. For Noble Steed, it's about how long they stall out the fights, where they fight, when they fight. They only need to really win one fight. Echo Knights have got to win a couple, but Noble Steed, you're going to have to build up a couple of ultimates, and you're going to have to make sure
that you don't get into a final fight bone dry with ultimates. But I will say, if it comes to the final fight and Echo Knights are the ones having to race back to the payload and not vice versa, Noble Steed are going to be in a really good position to hold. We're going for the flex and yet again. Ugh, is it in the wheelhouse? Admiral sniffs it out though.
Caught out here. They knew what was coming.
Yeah, look, Udge doesn't take the major perk right because he wants to see what Echo Knights are doing. Smart choice, actually.
Now backing off here as
I think he just takes heal perk here.
The cat was a little bit sketched there, unfortunately. Bao Bao.
Oh, great walk from Minky.
Yeah, it does end up taking the tank perk there.
Yeah. Home explosives takes that buff courtesy of Torbjorn. Admiral dives, and yeah, Udge waited there. Very clever usage. Something that not a lot of people do, but it's crazy that it took people a little bit of while to be like, hey, let me just not pick my major perk straight away because they can counter swap. So now that they know that they're on the explosive perk, let's see what Nessie and Empty can do in response, because oh my god, Udge is so good with these.
Not much. Okay, yeah, so PK Nessie does end up coming back through with the turret form, which is still like the Gatling gun infinite ammo form.
I think it kills Nessie, it's big.
Yeah, you can't let yourself go down here. You need to be able to get rid of this cat.
Oh.
Okay.
We do.
Okay,
Good from Kane.
But now we're starting seconds left. They still need to go the whole distance of this first objective and then a little bit into the second one.
And Minky doesn't have the deep freeze perk as well, so Mauga, not really the easiest to get frozen anyway, but could have had an option for the freeze here. Minky, ironically, manages to stagger himself a little bit, but they stagger the car, which means, again, we're going to be in pretty much an overtime fight now for Echo Knights. They've got the resources to do it, but for Minky,
you can to win a fight quick.
Yeah, as I said, I'm building up Minky here because Blizzard on cart could be really good late into the fight. They have to not pop it early, they have to be patient, because this Blizzard on an objective overtime fight, it's so good. But the important point from can they live it? Here we go. They Blizzard early.
Yeah, there's some duplicate onto the May here as well. We're going to see the artillery form come out.
Dragged off the map.
Catnap. Oh, tried to catch the Malga there. There is a 2-for-2 trade.
No, Cam wins these. Noble Steed take us to map 6. We got maps. We're on map 6. We're going to a map 6.
Yeah.
Cat Bastion Orisa. What is this series, bro?
Yeah. Ethics have completely left the
This
track.
ends now.
100%. Both of these teams are win at all costs right now.
Cleaning house.
I mean, what more can you ask? I mean, literally, you can't ask for more.
No, I will say that the obviously credit to again Austin, Udge, and Cam for being mainstays of that map. I think Minky did a really good job once they found the May and the overtime fights of just getting a crucial wall or two. Didn't need to do much. Was struggling that map, but kept concentration, locked in. Said, hey, this map's winnable. Let me try and do my best. Let me try and be a role player. Let me just hit a wall when I need to. The Blizzard, on point. I think it was a little bit early, but it forced cooldowns at least. It was a good enough Blizzard to take that when you've got all the other ultimates in the world coming up. Didn't get it cancelled and stayed alive pretty much during most of the Blizzard. And was able to provide it as a little bit of a support defensive ultimate for their team as well. Fletch, we're going for that thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really ask for more from a series with stakes such as this one. For now, though, it will be Echo Knights in the final map selection. We're going back to control in just a few minutes. We're going to cut it to a short break here. However, when we come back, we will have our last chance to figure out who is going to be the team to make it into the playoff bracket. So much at stake on the other side of this break, so stick around.
right, welcome back, everybody. Map 6 on the horizon. 2 to even score after 5 maps with a draw on Kings Row. It all comes down to Antarctic Peninsula for map number 6. Winner of this map will be a member of the BPL Season 8 A-League playoffs. The loser, unfortunately, this is where their series comes to an end. We are just going to be speeding through this because this game has gone on for a very long time. It is
Like 2 hours now.
Yeah, it's been a while. So it's going to be the Jetpack Cat band for the side of Echo Knights. Maga out of the pool for Noble Steed. Gonna force the issue on the Orisa from Cam.
At this point, the bans are relevant, but it's about which team has it left in the tank. We are into map 6. The stress levels are going to be really high. The hype levels are going to be really high. The mental, 6 maps of an official feels like 8 maps in a map 9 or 8 in a scrim. This is an endurance test for both of these teams right now, genuinely. Reminds me of early Overwatch League Season 1, where the Spitfire won Stage 1, and they played 12 maps of Overwatch that day, because they'd done their final regular season game, the game before the finals, and then they went to 6 maps in the grand finals as well for the stage. So, shit ton of Overwatch. But we're still here, and give your whole life for the sacrifice till the whole world know your name. I mean, that's the lead lyric. Shout out Benji, did a really good Sealy type video for my arms. Always cool when people just do lead wide clip dumps just to add a little bit of hype. But we're in the end game now, boys.
One more map.
Who's gonna step up? Admiral Kane is out.
Yeah, back with Hageshi.
The bases were loaded, and unfortunately, 2-out situation. The bases were loaded. Wasn't quite a strikeout because I think he had an all right back, but it was.
At the very least, he struck out swinging.
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna say it was a. I'm gonna say it was a pop fly on the warning track from Admiral Kane, that last map. I think that's fair to say. The ball hit the warning track. But now Hageshi's in, and he's going to have to make sure that it goes over the fence. Because if not, Echo Knights, they're going to be the ones sitting behind the fence in the stands for the rest of our BPL Season 8 A-League maps.
Go. In it comes the Zarya versus the Orisa, and out goes the Zarya to start out this fight. Empty trying to find the Bastion, will get rid of Ugg on that Bastion, but without Bao Bao and Hageshi, and now Empty, it won't be a fight that Echo Knights are going to be able to win.
Yeah. And Echo Knights chose to leave the Orisa up. I don't think they've banned Orisa the whole series.
Yeah, they did.
Or did they? Echo Knights, when did Echo Knights ban Orisa?
Map number 2.
Oh.
Here you go.
Under my protection.
Back in here. Bao Bao. Trying to build up that charge quickly. Ugg is extremely low. Will get a little bit overzealous on that
Good from Hageshi.
Bastion. Yeah, Hageshi able to track down a couple players, deal a lot of damage, find one final blow, collect this objective. Vertal Dog cleans up their mirror, and it will be a team kill to get Echo Knights on the board.
Yeah, with the no cat, the Bastion becomes a little bit weaker. And obviously, it's decent into Zarya in theory. But I think the Reaper and the Shion can really do good work into the Bastion. Just in general, if you can wait out the form, it's just so much value lost. And Echo Knights understand when to press the S key.
Yeah, I mean, Bao Bao, unfortunately, yeah, that's just a travesty. Considering Rush did come out there to try and help Bao Bao out, and they're going to get rid of Ugg in the end, I guess, but it's just not the kind of trade you want. It was a great Terra Sword by Cam, though.
Yeah, the Kitsune Rush being popped that late from Echo Knights is like really bad for them. Like the minute I think Bao dies first, you're just like, okay, let's just stall a little bit out on point here. Admittedly, we know we're not going to win this one. I can understand the ult, but you're in such a bad situation once Zarya goes down. She is really the head of your spear.
I think they used it to try and get Bao out of the Terra Surge.
That makes sense. I'd respect the effort. Unfortunately, how did she die? Noble Steed are really running in at full pelt here, by the way.
Yeah,
High
unfortunately,
tempo.
gonna be able to get rid of Ugg again, but the damage is still
Doesn't matter.
It's still too much.
Remember what I said on map 2 or 3 or 4, I don't know, one of them. Sometimes as DPS, you gotta go in, get all their cooldowns out, carry on, die, trade your life. Doesn't matter that Ugg isn't here, he can get taxied back. It's more percentage on the point. Now Noble Steed. They could be completing the reverse sweep. Because I believe we got to 2-0 before Noble Steed got a map with.
Yeah, we did.
Just a draw on King's Row.
Yeah, map 2 with a draw, the other 2 were wins. Forward Echo Knights, here we go, sound barrier to get aggressive. Hageshi is down. Wherever we go, we're going to see that ultimate invested. Will be overtime beginning. We're going to see a bit of a nice little bit of peel there from the Zarya, but
how does Austin kill 2? Oh, bro, this guy is the biggest demon off screen ever. And then you put the screen on him and he's just dead. The Austin Lucio. That's what you want. That's what you want from your champ 4 Lucio, you know? A little bit of a veteran experience play. That's a crazy outplay. I don't know if it matters, but
it looks good on the gameplay. Going to the replay, check that out, get it flipped. Here we go. Ultimate's up. Kitsune Rush, Death Blossom. 5 of them ready to go on the other side, but PK goes down before the Kitsune Rush has any real value. Death Blossom invested here, and it will be a lot of damage to a couple more people. Kitsune Rush, Death Blossom enough to lock up that fight now, coming up on the final.
back in the old days where ultimates were more common in 6v6, I would label ultimates as either soft or hard. Hard are the ones that basically you can win by themselves and you want to combo with a soft ultimate. That was a hard ultimate from Riddle Dog and a soft ultimate from Hard Sheet. So it's a perfect 1-2 combo. Echo Knights don't really have any ultimates left. They've still got resources. Unfortunately, Riddle Dog does not have that left.
This spree needs to be lost here, unfortunately, for PK.
It's looking good.
It will be good. Unfortunately, good just isn't going to be enough here.
Minky!
Bao Bao going down.
cleanup.
Minky comes up huge with a couple picks in the back end. And 99 to 99, this first sub-map belongs to Noble Steed.
And Cam doesn't have shield perk yet. And they get the option to pick shield perk, which makes the Zarya matchup individually a lot better. I don't know, Noble Steed. Again, like, Oja's got 6 deaths, but like, pretty decent damage for that round. Pretty much keeping up with the limbs in terms of Cam. Minky is 16-1. Decently low damage, like he's only done a bit more damage than Empty. A bit less damage than Hardashi, but is just finishing off every low HP target. And I mean, Cam and Oja doing all the damage, that's just what you want to do. You know, I've had games like that on Tracer and I would defend it to the death and say that's a fantastic performance. And I'm doing my job and there's not much more that I can do commentating the scenarios. So I look at that start line from Minky and I think, you know what? As I said, like, I'd be happy with it. Like, higher limbs, confirming kills, making sure that your damage is sticking and converting into eliminations rather than just feeding up shots.
Kills themselves again, unfortunately, with that alternate fire. That's not how you win fights, unfortunately. Like, not the prettiest last couple of rounds for Bao Bao.
Really struggled on the time. As I said, filling for this game, first time with the team, on and off role as well, against, you know, Orisa Jesus. PK Nessie though, this guy's played Overwatch and BPL before and he's popping off.
Yeah, and Hageshi able to jump onto that Bastion Bastion there, who was pretty low on the objective for a moment. Now Echo Knights are able to come back through as Bao has returned on the Diva to try and keep this Orisa in check.
If there's anyone that's going to be reliable on Echo Knights, it is going to be your champ DPS in Leonza. Sojourn, for a reason, this character has been a lobby admin and a Thanos Avengers level threat pretty much since release. And it's not as strongest as it used to be, but we're still seeing the impact. Urgi's going over to Mirror. Could potentially have picked up the Freya here, it is open, but not sure how it matches up Cam. Yet again, just comes up with an opening pick onto empty.
Gets the recall off. Baba's gonna head up to this high ground. Just trying to retain hold of this objective for as long as possible. Now, finally deciding that it's not worth fighting anymore as they wait for the respawn.
Absolutely. And Echo Knights, they've got to be so careful here. They really don't want to overextend. Noble Steed on the point. Great stick onto Cam.
That's a great pulse bomb from Geshi to get rid of Camp. Following up on this Kitsune rush, and we're going to get a pause in from the side of Noble Steed. Is that okay? No, that looks like a sound barrier. If I'm being honest with you, no, that's just Lucio's funky hitbox.
Yeah, he's mid war ride there. Noble Steed request a pause, so we're gonna take a breathe and get right with you. But it's looking pretty even, and I believe Echo Knights are just going to get the flip and probably get about 60% from this, regardless of fight win or loss. So this one really could be going the distance, because I think Echo Knights might win this individual sub point.
I mean, it's looking favorable right now. I mean, Nessie and Hageshi I've kind of locked in. Bao, now that shield perk is in play, you know, opting for the Diva, I don't dislike it at all. Right? You got to find some way to keep Cam in check. If the defense matrix is how you got to do that, it's how you got to do it, right? It's a lot of damage, and it honestly feels like Bao and Hageshi are kind of locked in together right now. They're trying to find these picks alongside each other onto, you know, someone like PJ or Austin, and
yeah.
I mean, by the time we come back, you'll see, you know, these DPS have switched off like the Bastion that we've been seeing, all that. But yeah, I mean, Echo Knight's in a very, very strong position here.
Disrupting.
We're readied up. And again, the answer is just going to have an angle to actually play from pre-fight. They're going to be able to play aggressively. Get a little bit of a split. And Echo Knights, it's going to be easy for them to operate once they are on the objective. I said before the start of the game, what would happen? Would the match win, or would the sun come up in my country? So far, the sun might actually be winning. So, Echo Knights, time very still ticking in this series for them. It's not over yet. What is that full range?
On 4 players. Mickey, though, able to find an excellent pulse bomb there onto empty, and it will put them back in control of this objective. Going to try and milk as much time as possible before going down. But, you know, an incredible fight there from Noble Steed.
Yeah, unethical hero Orisa, I think. I just don't like it. It's so boring to play into. And the one thing I will say is that the pull range of Orisa, like that Terror Surge pull range, is just like, it's low-key bullshit. There is just so much that, so many times where like you're just not in it, you shouldn't be in it, and you get completely sucked halfway across the map. Oh my god, Austin falls so low! But Nessie's traded instead. It's a disaster for Echo Knights, who've got to clean up quickly in this fight, otherwise they're going home.
You gotta either clean up quickly or get the hell out of dodge. Okay, well, Austin is down. We're gonna see the OC, but Hageshi comes out, huge pulse bomb stick.
Big balls.
Goes it down. Now, this Orisa very, very low. Hageshi needs to stay alive. Unfortunately, found by Minky. Trades galore, though, coming through, looking for this pick on PJ. Here we see the Kikai Sanctuary A huge chain there on to Kiri. Not gonna
Noble
be
Steed
able to follow
and
up.
Renati.
Empty jumps onto Ugg. Terra Surge down. Can't find the damage onto the Lucio, and now without that
Terra.
kill onto the Lucio, it's going to be everybody looking at Cam surrounding that Orisa. It's going to be 88% and counting now for Echo Knights, and they've got the Kitsune Rush. The only thing
I'm
on the
not
other
sure if they
side,
touch.
the only thing they've got on the other side coming into a potential final fight is a pulse bomb. But Minky
They do
can't come back
touch.
from spawn fast enough. Ugh!
Wait.
Comes up huge headshot. Minky gets 2 picks here from the DPS on the side of
Minky.
Noble Steed. Cam comes through. Can't quite connect on the punch. The kunai hit the headshots onto Ugg. You see the pulse bomb ready to go. Gonna get the DMAC on the Bao. Does not have the self-destruct to get back in, but PK Nessie comes up huge. Pulse bomb cannot connect onto the Lucio. Gonna get the healing from Riddle Dog there.
He's
Look out of Minky. They will jump on a Bao, but it is a trade. Austin for Bao. These pistols going crazy. 100% here for Echo Knights. We're going to Icebreaker to determine which team makes the playoffs.
One round of control. Noble Steed, I thought they had it. They managed to get 2 and trigger the overtime. Minky, who had a phenomenal map so far, and as I said, had a couple of real down maps in the middle of the series, but has just put themselves in the time chamber and has woken up in terms of farming these final blows. Look, Ulk has 11 deaths. They have been repeatedly killed basically every single fight for Echo Knights. Have you ever played Overwatch with nothing on the line? There's everything on the line right now. I don't care if there's literally nothing on the line. It would hurt if you lost this series.
Pride. There's so much pride on the line.
There's so much ego on the line. There's so much mental on the line, you know? Who wants to lose in a scenario like this? It's no one.
Bad Pachimari League playoffs on the line. A birth. Cam off of the horse onto a completely new hero in that Ramatra. Cam able to come back around, get the trade on
Kills
2
3?
players. Now going to get 3. Babel goes off the map. It's a 1 versus 1 now. Okay, no, it's a 1 versus 2. Cam
Tracer's
and
up.
Cam versus the Tracer of Hageshi and Riddle Dog on the Kiri. Recall forced out. This fight continues on the objective, and Hageshi will get the pick.
Yeah, lives for ages, but it doesn't matter. He's got infinite ammo, an HP shield, and he's got a Kiriko healing him that can both space him. Cam is in a pretty decent scenario with cooldowns available and some HP, but not all of it. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Kiri Tracer are never losing that 2v1 there, especially because it's Kiri Tracer. Those characters are just always too good in those kind of clutch split fight situations. Cam got a lot of value out of form the first fight. Echo Knights cannot allow the punches to be as lethal as they were last time. Hodishi, though, on the sniff, on the prowl for a pulse bomb on the off angle.
Yeah, here we go.
Minky on the main now.
Under the objective now. Pulse bomb ready to go for Hageshi. As you said, looking for it. Trying to force out the cleanse there. Can't quite get it out. Austin is extremely low. So is Cam. All of these players getting exceptionally low, and Cam holding on by the thread of his tendons.
Yeah.
Able to stay alive in that fight, get them across that.
Just by the cable ties in his PC, you know, just by the little bit of copper wires through the core over Ramatra. Minky drops the Tracer here after having a really solid map on it. First 2 points, goes over to the main, deciding that it's good enough into the Diva. We're just gonna hate crime the tank, they say. Blizzard available. It got eaten.
Rush down. Pulse bomb will not be a connection there.
Oh,
for
Minky, no.
And it will be Bao and PK Nessie able to come through the self-destruct, get back into mech. PJ, though, able to track down Bao on that remech attempt. We're going to see the... Yeah, we're going to see the spree come out. Doesn't find a final blow, but it did actually find a lot of damage into Cam.
Yeah, Minky's Blizzard got eaten there. All important to mention from Bao, even though they lose mech. It's the fact that Blizzard does not exist on the map. And the Kitsune Rush is able to actually be played in that allows Hodishi to clean up there, and clean up they did. The Clutch Tracer coming up big again for Echo Knights. Now they're at 70% and counting. That's the freeze.
And Bao with the micro missiles. Minky
Minky
goes
dead.
down. PJ extremely low. Now turning toward this Ugtacity. It's just Cam. Have to go off the map. They've got one more chance, Jace.
Yeah, and Echo Knights, I think they're going to try and look to go forward here. They've got ultimates to do it. They don't have any speed, though, to get to the point, so they're not going to be the fastest, and Minky really has to be the one to touch, but they're going to need cooldowns to do it, of which Echo Knights are desperately trying to trade. If they can touch, though, Kikai Sanctuary is put on point. How does she get the stick?
The Ego Pulse Bomb will send Echo Knights into the playoffs. Overtime begins. Kikai Sanctuary on the objective, but it's too little, too late for Noble Steed. 100% Echo Knights. 6 maps. 3, 2. They secure their spot in the postseason.
Yeah, and bring as many cams as you like, bring as many horses, bring us your best performances, because we don't care. Say Echo Knights, and they do it hardishy. The stocks again continue to rise. To start with, great out in Kitsune League last season. Steps up into BPL as a first timer and continues to deliver in the clutch situations. It was a consistent string of bomb maps from Nyanza, aka PK Nessie, the entire series. But in those last 2 fights, Hardishy just litters the kill feed with cleanup kills, gets the ego pulse bomb. Noble Steed just felt like it too many times. They just picked off in the final fight, just fall at the final hurdle. I think they do exceptionally well, Noble Steed. As I said, their DPS really had to punch up this fight, and they did. It felt like they were competing like up 4 weight divisions, to give a boxing analogy, and they were fucking doing it, man. But Echo Knights.
So, in the discussion for MVP, I'm kind of torn between Nyanza and Hageshi. I think I'm gonna lean toward Nyanza.
The thing with Nyanza is Nyanza was solid all 6 maps, but the maps that Hageshi was in were pretty good for Echo Knights, bar like the one. I think technically Nyanza only lost 1 map, right? But obviously Nessie lost. No, sorry, Hardishy. Hardishy only lost 1 map.
But one of the maps they won also had Hageshi not in the lineup.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right.
I think I'm
it's either way you want to look at it.
I think I'm gonna lean towards Nyanza here as the MVP. Or
yeah, I think we can't technically give it to the tank ringer. I also think the backline of Echo Knights had a pretty solid series as well. I think
that's just an unfortunate byproduct of being support players. They're just not as present in our.
They are, but it's just if they do the little things.
It was clinical.
They do the little things. There's just less opportunities for them to do obvious playmaking, but they hit some good sound barriers. It's a thankless role, support, because everyone flames you if you're the reason they lose, and no one will really thank you, if you're the reason they won.
Screw it. It's Admiral Kane MVP.
No. He played 2 maps and went 1-1. We're not giving it to Kane. Congrats on his first win, but we're not giving it to Kane.
Yeah.
I think... I don't know if I can give it to a botline member of Echo Knights as much as I want to shout them out for having a solid series. They didn't do that across 6 maps, which is awful.
Shouts out to everyone, but I think it's going to be Nyanza.
Yeah, I'd be down to give it to Nyanza.
For MVP. Oh my god.
She on jump scare. And I think we had a lot of clutch moments from the supports as well. We had a couple of nice beats. Empty gets a couple of kills.
See, this is the kind of series, though, where it was so back and forth that, like, you could give it to just about anyone on the winning squad. Really.
I do think objectively as well, support this series was low-key a Dead by Daylight experience. The tanks and DPS were doing so much that, like, your supports just needed to heal and live. And some fights they could not live because the DPS were just hitting so many shots. That sometimes is the support role. It is very overtuned. But when DPS and tanks are performing this good, it is really hard to stay alive on the map. So congrats to Echo Knights. They booked their place with a 1 seed in the playoffs. But they made it.
Yeah, they're here, and
You get a date with Odin.
They do it based off their own merit. They do have to punch up quite a long way, really. It was never going to be easy coming in from the play-in. I don't think they expected it to be easy coming in from the play-in. Of course, Odin, 5-0, +6 map differential.
Yeah.
They're a disgustingly good team, right? So it's going to be a hard one, but they've made it in. They are one of our final teams to do so. They've made it through the play-in, so hats off to the side of Echo Knights to make it as far as they have.
This series was exhausting. I couldn't imagine what it was like playing all 6 maps. Never mind casting. Like, casting it was exhausting. It was exhausting to watch. Never mind playing in it. Jesus Christ. Let's have a look at the Sunday schedule and get out of here, shall we? Because it's literally 5 a.m. in my country. The sun is up.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, we've got some bangers. Flying Bloodbears versus Those Who Crow. That is play-ins, as it can say. Flying Blaha versus Nightwings, also play-ins. So one of 2 of those 4 teams, they'll be going home. And at 8 p.m, we've got Phantom Verdict versus Siren Song. Again, a do or die. And the real upper round starts with Zirael, Cerily and Co. taking on Armatori. And for B-League, Mango Nectar against To Be Decided, because we're waiting for the winner of Flying Blaha versus Nightwings to play that game immediately after. So it could be a long day of Overwatch for one of those teams. And in C-League, we've got Elvish Soul Knife, one of our standout teams. The winners of Kickoff went 4-1 in the regular season. They're up against Pachimari, a team of C-League mainstays.
Yeah, I just punched their ticket to the playoff earlier this evening, so looking forward to a beautiful, beautiful playoff bracket. It's good to be back for me personally, but for now, we will say thank you all for watching. We will see you all again tomorrow as we finally get rolling in the playoff brackets here in BPL Season 8.
See you soon.